We are live. Rob and I are live, waiting for Sam to join us. I am just going to do a bit of messing around here first. Rob, how are you?
I'm good. Glenn, how are you?
Good. I got something to show you in a second, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Pretty cool. Done. Save. I'm back. You there?
I'm
Can you hear
here.
me?
Yeah, I'm good. You hear
Okay,
me?
cool. Oh, we got one comment already. Cardboard head guys, waiting
There he
for
is.
first in line. I love that. Yeah, look, check this out.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It is
It's so good.
really good performances.
Yeah,
She's rocking pretty good. That Steve McQueen
fantastic.
that starts it off is just killer.
That is a phenomenal live. It's 4 LPs, I think, isn't it?
4 LPs, $32.
Can't beat it.
$8 an album.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, really good. I was
Yeah,
I was much more impressed than I thought I'd be. I thought the only reason I bought it because it was $32.
yeah.
Because I'm not the biggest
She has
Cheryl Crow
another.
fan.
She has another. She's got another live album live from the Capitol Theater, and it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
That one though is
Oh,
phenomenal.
the band's great. She's smoking. Yeah.
She's got some great guests on there, like Stevie Nicks is on there.
Oh, I didn't even know the guests. I didn't even
Yeah,
look at that. Oh yeah, featuring Stevie Nicks, Waddy Wachtel,
yeah,
Jason Isbell.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, really impressed. I listened to side one and maybe side A, a side of the second LP.
So good.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I was quite impressed.
Where'd you snag that at your local record shop?
No, at on Amazon in the warehouse sale.
That's great.
I went $32 because
Can't beat it.
my
Can't
wife
beat it.
said pick yourself something up for Valentine's Day, so I did.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
We went to an antique market on Sunday. I said to my wife, I said, I really feel like record shopping. And she said, so do I.
Oh,
Right on. I said, I can't afford any new vinyl. She goes, let's go to the antique market. So we thought, okay, we're fine with that, but I got to drag a 7-year-old along. And I said, he's like, I don't know, Dad. I'm like, they're going to have used comic books there. Maybe we can find some Superman comics.
yeah.
All right, let's go. He was sold.
There we go. Yeah.
So bought him some old comic books, and the wife and I went
It.
record shopping. And in the very first bin that I was flipping, because it's just a bunch, vendors have their little stalls there, right? And you look through it. And the first place I was at had that Yes album. And I'm like, Glenn talks about it all the time, and he's showing it. I'm like, I got to buy it. It cost me $8.
We might see that later tonight.
We might. So
Have you
I haven't
listened to it
listened
yet?
to it. I haven't listened to it yet.
It's a great album, man. Especially the song "Close to the Edge," like the first song. Oh, it's just epic.
I'll probably get to it tomorrow or the next day.
Oh,
I got a couple sitting here I got to listen to.
It's. I mean, it's something that grows on you, but you'll hear the brilliance in it. I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Levon is supposed to be joining us. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Levon is supposed to be here. I don't know where he is. He said he was coming.
He said he was.
So, what did you do for Valentine's? How did you get How did you get to do a chat? Did you have a dinner or something? Or?
My wife and I don't do, whether it's Christmas or birthdays or Valentine's Day. We're like, gives a shit.
Really?
Yeah, we don't
All the
care.
fun out of life, man.
Nah,
You're
like,
sucking the fun out of it.
nah, it's all
We
good.
celebrate everything.
No, we don't. We celebrate nothing. Our anniversary, and that's it. So
we celebrate everything.
But that said, even though we don't do anything, we don't buy presents, whatever, I still came home with wine, chocolate, and roses. So
there you go. Now, yeah, you're a good man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I did the flower thing, and
I got the little man ready for bed, and he's probably going to bed right now. So
Levon's here now, Jeff.
there he is.
There he is there.
Hey, Sam.
Levon. Wears his war wound like a crown.
I did. Yeah. I was born a pauper to a pawn.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Sam.
Yeah, y'all too.
Glad you could make it.
Yeah, some different family things came up where my family had to do something else that was a lot more pressing. So I was able to stay home tonight.
Cool. And I don't think John's going to be joining us. I think he's going to see Mellencamp tonight or something.
Yeah, he's doing something fun.
Get your priorities straight.
Well, he told me he couldn't do Tuesday night because it was Valentine's and their family always goes out for dinner together and everything. So that was cool. I mean, family comes first, right? But he then sent me an email and said, I scored tickets for Mellencamp on Tuesday night. And I sent an email going, would you blow off the family for John Mellencamp?
No. Priorities.
I wonder if Mellencamp's doing his new stuff or his old stuff.
Oh, when he puts out a new album, he's usually doing at least 4 or 5 from the new one. He's like Dylan. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that's the case.
Yeah, when he did the Plain Spoken tour, he did probably half that album live.
Did you see him in that tour?
I've never seen him. No.
I saw him in
2 or 3 times.
1988. I'm going to say when the Lonesome Jubilee album came out with Cherry Bomb and all those hits on it.
Yeah,
I saw that tour. He was really good.
Yeah, I mean, my mom saw him with her brother back when he was doing like the full on like crumbling down and everything. Like when he was like coming down like a pole, like sliding in like a fireman's pole, and there's like a big ladder on stage he was climbing.
Oh, really?
Up. Yeah, when he was like a big showman. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see any of that. Rich wants to know what happened to Billy Strings.
He's next week.
Next Tuesday, Rich.
Yeah.
Rich, you said you might want to join us tonight. You're more than welcome if you want. Let me know.
Billy Strings just put up a video. He was wherever he's playing tonight. He was visiting Blaze Foley's grave. He was taking video of Blaze Foley.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'll see Billy Strings next week.
Oh, that's gonna be great. I'm dying to hear what you think of that.
Yeah, it'll be starting right now, a week from today.
Yeah, you'll be doing a review. Is that right in Roanoke or?
No, it's Charlottesville.
Yeah.
It's in the basketball stadium for the University of Virginia, UVA.
What else did they say today? Just saw a tour. Somebody put tour dates on. They're playing in Charlottesville. How far is that from you?
For me, it's about an hour 40.
Okay.
It's a good little drive. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
No, I'm seeing somebody else there. Well, that's where I saw Oliver Wood last month, and I'm seeing the Wood brothers there in June.
Can't do it Valentine's Day. Yeah, we're all losers, Rich.
Nobody has their priorities straight. They're all hanging out with their wives.
Yeah. What is this? Someday men will be men again.
I know. My wife was happy to get rid of me so she could watch something on TV that I don't like. So
we had a nice steak dinner.
Oh.
And I watched my wife have a glass of wine while I had a Diet Pepsi.
You're like George Costanza, where he said he wants to bring a Pepsi to the party.
Yeah.
And a wing ding.
I do that. I bring Diet Pepsi to my parties.
That's my kind of party.
Yeah.
I don't go to parties.
Yeah. I don't go to parties either, but if I get invited to someone's house, I show up with a 2-liter bottle of Diet Pop.
He just shows up to my place with chips.
Do you drink beer, Rob, or anything?
No, sir. Nothing.
You don't drink anything?
Nope. Water.
Oh, yeah, same
water.
Here.
Water and then ice caps from Tim Hortons. That's it.
I quit drinking about a year and a half ago, and I didn't have a problem. I want actually more for weight loss, and it helped me lose a lot of weight because
it never had any appeal to me. I tried it, but it never had any appeal to me.
Yeah, oh no, I can't say I don't. I like having fun.
I used to drink for free at the local strip club, but even that wasn't enough to make me a drunk.
Wow.
We don't want to hear
a story for another day.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And another channel. Yeah. Greetings, gents. Hope everyone's having a great week. Alex, we are having a great week.
Are we
talking beer? What a great time to join.
I'll say I almost fell asleep this evening. It was like 7:00, and it was like right when I got home from work. I had one Miller Lite, and then like I was like laying on my recliner here, I had just eaten, and I was just sitting here thinking, like, I'm just gonna close my eyes for a minute, and like it was that weird, like I knew I was awake, but I almost drifted off, and I almost, I probably would have missed this. I would have been knocked out.
We just had
Oh.
ravioli and plans to watch a movie, so you better watch like Sally Meets Robbie or whatever the heck it's called.
Well, Rich, this is a 2-hour stream. That's like a movie.
Yeah, this is better than a movie.
This is actually very romantic. If you turn down the lights, Rich, and just sit and put your arm around your wife and just sit and watch us for 2 hours.
Watch us, three handsome men. Your wife will be so excited.
Glenn's
you'll be making
known,
out in no time just because,
I was going to say, Glenn's been known to do a video nude.
Yeah. That's right.
It's true.
Yeah, Alex, you can have my beer for me.
It's okay, Glenn, Robin. Yeah, no, we're all pretty boring here.
Yeah, I had leftover pizza. That was my supper.
Yeah, yeah. I've had my days, but they're over. Now it's funny because now that I don't drink when I have one, like the odd time I'll have a glass of wine or something, just on a special occasion. I just go, I didn't really like it.
Yeah, I went a long time without any beer. And when I had one, I was like, ooh, I don't know. But then I, had another Guinness, and I was like, ooh, yeah, that's what I like, the Guinness.
See, there's people like I've got like a really good friend, my oldest friend. Like we don't see each other very often, but if he came over, he likes to have beer. So I could see I'd probably have a few beer with him, just so I'm not like a total but it's so rare.
Yeah.
First of all, Glenn, it's called When Harry Met Sally, and it's a great movie. Yeah, I know it's a great movie. I just forgot the name of it. That's why I told him to watch it.
We're still pushing for you, Alex, to start that channel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alex is pretty sensitive about Harry Met Sally. Whoa.
That's nothing wrong with a good chick flick.
No. I'll try and negotiate. Yeah.
Be smart though, Rich.
Yeah. Rich, did you at least get flowers and stuff today? And chocolates? Do all that stuff?
Rich just needs to say to his wife, honey, there's these three really handsome men you're going to want to watch for a couple
And I
hours.
hope that frickin' ravioli wasn't out of a tin.
Chef Boyardee. Only the best for Rich and the missus.
Oh my god.
That's funny you say that because about, I guess it was 2018, so 5 years ago, in January, I was in Richmond, the capital, doing some intern work, and I was staying with my uncle's parents, and I was there during Valentine's Day, and whatever I was eating Valentine's Day, I was eating a bowl of SpaghettiOs, and I remember I took a picture, and I was like, "Ladies, I'm single." It's like, he can cook. Eating SpaghettiOs alone.
Yeah. Eat SpaghettiOs, and I live with my mom and dad.
Yeah. Doing intern work.
Yeah. And I have no money.
$10 an hour. Yeah. If even that, whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh, there's a
catch.
Just
say, ladies, there's unlimited potential.
There's unlimited. I was probably in my pajamas and slippers.
Yeah. Unlimited potential. There's nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even heated the SpaghettiOs, so it was, that was the second step.
Man, I think that was my kids' vegetable when they were kids. Well,
remember they advertised it as having like a serving of vegetables in it.
Yeah,
because of the tomato sauce.
SpaghettiOs, man.
As the father of a 7-year-old, there's a lot of that shit gets eaten in my house.
Oh my god! When I was a kid, it was cream corn. I must have had oh my god, it was gross. I don't know how I ate it.
That to a cow.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
I know cows wouldn't eat it.
My dad was practically raised by his brother at one point, and all his brother knew how to make were like bologna sandwiches and Kool-Aid. And so my dad got so sick of Kool-Aid, he never drinks Kool-Aid, even when we were kids.
Oh,
the secret to a bologna sandwich is you got to fry the bologna.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
I've been forbidden from making that in my house.
Years and years ago, I was at a work party and just hammered out of my tree. I was drinking rye whiskey all night long, and then we moved the party to another company's thing, and they had whiskey sitting there, and like, you just go help yourself, right? But it was Scotch whiskey, and I was so drunk I didn't even know the difference. So I'm pouring myself healthy glasses of Scotch, and I get home and I know I'm gonna not have a good night. And so the only thing I could find where was water, and we had a big jug of red Kool-Aid in the fridge.
Oh no!
I thought, I'm going to pour myself a big giant, like one of these glasses full of red Kool-Aid, put it on the floor beside me. And like all night long, I'm just like feeling like I'm going to barf my head off. And I
I
kept
see it coming.
taking the drink of red Kool-Aid. The next morning, I was the guy that was a Friday night. The Saturday morning, I had to open the shop that I worked at. So I made it to the shop, totally hungover, and I start throwing up, and I'm throwing up all this red. Like I thought I was like throwing up blood.
Literally coughing up a
red
lung.
Kool-Aid.
Oh, I've had many a Kool-Aid throw up as a child. It's not fun, but I still would go back for more. They kept pulling me back in.
Well, Rich is going to show us how romantic he is. Let's watch this. No flowers, no candy this year. Ravioli is not out of a tin. I'm deeply insulted as a connoisseur of food.
Rich's romance was dyeing his beard green on Sunday.
Yeah. No flowers, no candy. Your wife didn't get you any flowers, Rich. It's terrible.
Well, Rich is her flower, so that's
well, that's true. He's
as he is for all of us.
Yeah. How could
Rich is wearing his edible boxer shorts.
Oh no.
Strawberry flavored.
There you go.
Yeah. And the only problem is his wife has an allergy to strawberries.
That's why he's wearing them. Sorry, Rich.
What a loser.
We didn't know this was gonna be the roast Rich show.
Yeah, let's just sit here and cut up Rich.
It's easy to do.
How about those Eagles?
Yeah, that crap team. No, I'm kidding.
There was a question today in the local sports store. They said, what's more likely to happen? The Eagles get to the Super Bowl next year, or the Eagles don't make the playoffs next year?
I think they'll go to a Super Bowl again.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Hurts and Mahomes are the two. They're the runners up for the young guys.
The edible boxers.
Oh no!
Oh man, I don't know.
I'm sorry, I started to paint this picture.
We are allowed to block people for it.
I'm starting to lose my appetite.
I will say, everybody that's on, go over to Rich's channel to watch. If this doesn't excite you, maybe our Hall of Fame episode will.
Yeah, please. Yeah, let's actually do a public service announcement here. Rich Strickler, please go to Rich's channel. We're doing a thing. There's 6 of us involved in a authentic Hall of Fame where we're starting from scratch, and we're going to do like the way the Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should be. And this year this week we inducted bands that their first recordings were from 1967 or 8.
7. Yeah. Next week's 8.
So next week, their first album had to come out in 68, and we make up a list of 25 eligible people, and then we got to pick from that. Each of us pick someone to induct, and it's taking us like 36 weeks to complete this thing, and Rich has done a great job working on it. So please go to Rich's channel and watch that.
And 67, I mean, like Rich said when he posted it, I mean, it's a lot of people that we had to bypass that they're going to be guaranteed to get in, but there just wasn't enough guys.
Yeah,
to vote them in,
man. Yeah, you're leaving out some good people.
Lot of shockers.
Jason says that's a good series of videos so far. So there you go, Rich. We got
Rich.
One guy watching. Perfect. Man. Can I bring up shorts for a minute before we get started on our topic tonight?
Well, no, Rich has just hit the floor.
Rich has hit the floor.
No, the real
shorts. Anyone wants to see them.
The ones I hate, those shorts. No shorts, Callaway, that guy. So every day now I go on. This is my daily routine. I pull up my YouTube page, and then there's a thing on the side where it says subscriptions, and you click on that, and it shows you all the videos that you can watch, right? And you get there in a line of 4 each, and they go down and down and down and down. And I'm starting to hide the shorts before I get started. And the first 32 videos, because they're 4 in a thing, 8 rows of videos. I think 18 or 19 of them were shorts.
That sounds about right.
Hiding them every day. And as I'm hiding them, it seems to be, I don't know if it's an algorithm thing, but gradually I'm getting less and less showing up on my
That's exactly what it is.
Well, this will be a good time for me to plug my short on Oasis that I posted about an hour and a
I
half
did.
ago.
I hit it. So what I do is I hide them right away as soon as I see
I
them.
saw it, but I didn't watch it yet, Sam.
I'm hiding them all, and I've actually unsubscribed from 3 channels. They're
Wow.
doing more shorts than long videos, and I actually went and I did it to John first. I went back to these channels and I looked under their shorts and I looked how many short. One channel has so many shorts it's ridiculous. And then I look at their long videos. Their long videos are getting like 100 views, and their shorts are getting 1,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if you're a short person, that's what you want to do. But it's not helping your channel, and it's not contributing to the vinyl community as far as I'm concerned. It's just,
You heard it here, folks.
Get off Glenn's lawn.
it's just stupid. I don't like it. And I do know how to do them now. I know you and John said the other night, I got this thing because I don't know how to do them. It's on my phone.
Figured it out?
It's
All
on
right,
my
good.
phone. I found it by accident.
Good.
So, but I wouldn't do one if I lived to be 10 million years old.
Wow.
So, but you guys are all free to do them. Just, I don't.
And then you'll unsubscribe from our channels and stuff.
No, I would never do that. The people that I unsubscribe from, I don't really give a crap about anyway. I don't watch their channels anyway. So,
hot takes here tonight, folks.
Well, it's funny, I'm sure you guys are the same. You subscribe to like, how many channels are you? I don't even know how many channels I'm subscribed to. Hundreds. And I watch.
Wow.
How many channels can you watch?
Well, it's funny you say that. I was actually just talking. Tommy called me just probably, I don't know, a couple hours ago, and I was talking to him about that very thing. And I go through phases where if I'm getting a lot of content from channels I'm not watching, I'm not afraid to unsubscribe, because I'm somebody that unsubscribes all the time because I'm just not interested in the content and it's cluttering up my homepage. So,
Yeah.
And very nice people, very knowledgeable people. I'm just not interested in the content.
Yeah.
And I remove it. So,
yeah.
Oh, there's Alex.
Oh, Alex. Okay, Sam and Rob, what grinds your gears about the VC?
Nothing. It's wonderful.
It's just, it's all.
I will not. I
won't say anything negative.
I'm
not a fan of shorts in general. I'm not as vehemently opposed as Glenn is.
I don't get anything out of them. I just don't understand.
I understand their place in the YouTube landscape, and I would like to find a way to do them that would contribute to my channel. But until I can figure out a way to do that, I'm not doing shorts. Other than that, I won't say anything else.
It increases your subscriber total, and that's why people are doing it. And I understand.
And that's a valid thing.
Number to get to 1,000, because if people want to monetize, they want to get to that number. So I understand if that's why you're doing it. I get it.
Alex, I can assure you.
Like, it doesn't matter to me. I have 1,700 subscribers. It doesn't matter if I have 1,800 or 1,700 or 1,900 or 1,700. It doesn't matter if I have 2,000 or 1,700. It's a moot point now.
I'm a little over 200 away from monetization, so I'd like to get there someday.
Yeah, I agree. And if you can get there with shorts, I strongly suggest you do that.
Alex, I can assure you I am not a pants guy. I am wearing shorts at the moment, and I wear shorts all the time. 90% of the time, even in Canadian winter.
Are you one of those guys who you see walking outside and it's freaking freezing outside and you got shorts on?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
You're that guy.
Yep. I mean, I can't wear shorts at work because I'm working.
Yeah.
But it can be, a normal February when we have a foot of snow and I'll drive to Tim Hortons and I got my shorts on.
So you're not one of the guys I see going into Walmart with shorts on when it's snowing out.
No, I'll put pants on for that.
Okay. All right, because there are those guys. You see those guys.
As soon as I come home, I put shorts on, and I wear shorts from, unless I'm outside and there's tons of snow, I'm wearing shorts.
We are going good, Ryan. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Okay, we got 23 people watching, and they're probably getting sick of us talking about nothing. So
we should talk about our favorite albums.
We are going to. Our topic for tonight is we're going to take our 10 favorite artists, solo or band. And we're going to talk about our favorite album from those artists. Now, I'm not sure how I kind of ranked the artists.
That's how I did.
One, So the albums aren't ranked because it's funny. Some of the albums would be in different order.
Oh,
Right.
see, I ranked it by album.
It does. I don't think it matters. I mean,
It kind of goes in hand with the artist to an extent.
Well, it did to me too, for a lot of them, but some it didn't.
It doesn't matter.
Higher.
It doesn't matter.
I looked at it like this. I ranked my top 10 favorite artists, and they're my favorite based on their entire catalog of work. And then once I had that list of 10 artists, I went through and said, okay, what is my favorite album that artist put out?
That's what I did.
Yeah. Interesting.
So
no, I used some of my 100 favorite albums series that I did. I've still got that spreadsheet. And so I based it kind of on that.
So you took your 10 favorite albums rather than
your no, because it doesn't work. Because some of those albums, like Traveling Wilburys is my top 10 favorite albums, but it's not going to make my list.
Yeah, they're not going to be your favorite.
I can't really. I mean, they are one of my favorite artists, but it doesn't really match up to some of these people that have 20 albums or so.
That makes sense.
No, some of these go back like they're my top 30, top 40 favorite albums, just based on the artists themselves. Like for example,
what's this?
What is your favorite Lou Reed song?
I only know. Well, I'd say "Sweet Jane."
I don't listen to Lou Reed.
Well, me neither. So I know 2 songs: "Sweet Jane" and "Walk on the Wild Side."
Yeah.
And I only like "Sweet Jane" because I love the way the Cowboy Junkies do it on the Trinity sessions.
Absolutely.
So that's my song. Okay, how are we going to start this? Who's going first, Rob or Sam?
I'll go.
Go first, Sam.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, it's 10 albums. They're not in order of my favorite artists. They're more in line with like how I would rank these 10 albums standalone, but it depends on the day. And also for my favorite artists, that also varies. My 10 favorite artists now were not my 10 favorite artists last year. At least a couple of them for sure.
Can I
yeah,
say something? Because you just reminded me of something. I'm walking along thinking about this today, and I'm going, I don't know if this will make a video or not, but I'm kind of wondering if the Beatles are my favorite band anymore. Like they are the greatest band ever, but I don't listen. No, but I'm thinking about how often I listen.
Well, thanks for watching tonight, everybody. Sam and I are out of here.
No, I just mean
I know what you mean. You don't.
They're the closest to my heart of any band ever.
I do not understand the words.
But I'm just wondering what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when I'm talking about just my listening habits, how often I listen to a Beatles record compared to other artists now.
Well, here's if you were to take your favorite movie of all time, how often do you watch your favorite movie of all time?
Well, I'm not a movie guy. I watch a movie once. I've seen it.
See, I can't listen to my favorite things. I don't like some of these albums. I mean, I've listened to them so much. Like, I'll go 2 or 3 years and not listen to them.
Yeah.
And because I don't need them every single day of my life, but they are like the stalwart albums right now in my life, especially the top 3. Yeah. The other ones kind of can juggle around a little bit in their order, but I know what you mean about the Beatles because again, I don't listen to the Beatles as much as I do other artists because I listened to them so much at one point in my life. But they are still my favorite band.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, I don't know. Like the Beatles are like the motor that keeps the car going. The other bands are all the little attachments that you do.
No. Everything leads back to them.
They're your meat and potatoes of everything.
Yeah. I know. I was just going by my listening habits, and they don't seem to be getting put on the turntable that much.
I don't play them much.
When's the last time you listened to a Beatles album, Rob?
Yesterday.
Okay. You don't like that song?
I don't like that song, but that's when I listen to them.
See, I haven't listened to a Beatles album probably for a month.
And I'm probably going to make a Beatles video this week.
Yeah.
The last Beatles album I listened to was earlier this week. I listened to Rubber Soul. But before that, it had been a while. It probably been since last February that I listened to a Beatles album, other than the Revolver box set when that came out.
Yeah. Yeah, I could just be looking at it wrong. I was just starting to think, man, like, it's weird.
Well, Sam, if you ever meet Glenn's wife on a trip down, we can mark this as the point when the senility is starting to set in.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
She
brought it up.
asks. He's starting to show signs.
It's a good discussion. My favorite bands of all time usually hold more of a sentimental place, but I've heard them so much I don't go back to them much. Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's start. Sorry, I had to throw that.
We should remind folks we're going to do Stump Us too.
Stump Us is on board tonight. If anybody has any trivia questions to stump us with,
we don't have the killer graphic this week because Glenn couldn't get it set up. We have the sound effect, but we don't have the graphic. We'll get the graphic
next week.
So all you gotta do is write Stump Us and then give us a trivia question about music.
Yeah. About music. Not the Big Lebowski.
No, Steve, wherever he is. All right, so number 10 in this little ranking, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to go with John Prine, who's obviously, he's way up. I know. Yeah,
I'm shocked.
The shocking thing to people is that my favorite John Prine album is his last.
Wow.
The Tree of Forgiveness.
I'm surprised.
Came out in 2018. This was the tour that I saw the following November 2019. One of the last shows I saw pre-COVID. And one of his last, 5 or 6 shows that he ever did. Just a killer album. It's straightforward. It's only about half an hour long. He did some collaborations with, I know Jason Isbell, Brandy Carlisle, Dan Auerbach are all part of this album. And obviously his touring band is all over this record. One of the best send-offs of any career with the last song of When I Get to Heaven, which is just a pure John Prine song where he talks about what he's going to be drinking and smoking, doing the things that are going to kill him on earth. Yeah. But he's not going to have to worry about that when he's dead. So just a great, with kazoo, and it's just a party song. Then one of the most beautiful songs ever with Boundless Love, one of just the prettiest love songs ever. Again, another one of those songs about mortality with Summer's End, just a beautiful, just melancholy song. The album, it teeters on that mortality topic with the classic John Prine humor, because you go from a song like, I Have Met My Love Today, right into a song called Egg and Daughter Night, where it's talking about the farmers who would bring their daughters into town to trade, and all the boys would, attack the daughters to see which one they could get a date with. So, I mean, it's just a great song. He does a song called The Lonesome Friends of Science, where he talks about Pluto not being a planet, which I know hurt his feelings. But, yeah, John Prine, Tree of Forgiveness. It's my favorite John Prine album, and it'll be number 10.
Wow, tonight. Excellent. Very cool.
All right. Number 10 for me is a band that no one watching will know. Glenn knows it. Phenomenal band from Toronto called Whitehorse. This is their second album. It's called The Fate of the World Depends on This Kiss. It is a adult contemporary indie folk rock is what I would call this. It's a fantastic album. This is Melissa McClelland, and this is her husband Luke Doucette. They are Whitehorse. They both started their career in Sarah McLachlan's band and still are and have been for 20 years, and then had solo careers and formed Whitehorse. This is just a good sort of, indie folk rock record. A lot of electric guitar in here. Luke is I've said before, the greatest electric guitar player currently in Canada, even though most people haven't heard of him. Got a very signature sound, plays a Gretsch White Falcon. There's some great songs in here. Achilles' Desire it was the lead single, and it's a great, heavy electric folk rock song. So I love this band immensely. I wish that I could play samples of it so people could hear how great they are, but I don't want to get in trouble with the YouTube police. But anyway, Whitehorse, The Fate of the World Depends on This Kiss. My number 10.
That's your 10th favorite band of all of right now. Wow, very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, they are good. I mean, you turned me on to them. I enjoy the 2 albums that I have. So.
I've seen them a dozen times. I've met them. We have several mutual friends. They're amazing. But again, no one outside of Canada's probably heard of them. But
yeah, I keep watching to see if they come out this way. They were playing in Kingston one night, but I was like, kind of hoping they'd come to Belleville or something, maybe.
No, they probably.
Speaking of, did you see Springsteen just announced some dates up in Canada?
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. I can hardly wait to miss those.
Wow.
I'm excited. No one else would be, but Noel Gallagher's coming to Toronto. It just got announced yesterday.
He
Oh,
announced
really?
some dates. Yeah, the closest he's coming here is Nashville.
Wow.
He's playing at the Budweiser stage, so I'm going to go see it. The opening band's garbage, literally, but I don't really care about garbage. But
who's the opening? That's the opening band. A garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I've seen them before open for you too, so whatever. But I'm never going to see Oasis. So
where are they playing?
Budweiser stage.
Oh, okay. Cool. I didn't know he'd play at such a big venue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he'll fill that.
Will you get lawns for that or something, or will you buy seats?
I haven't decided. I've never done lawns. I always get seats, but I think maybe this time I'll grab a blanket and sit on the lawn.
Nah, I get seats.
It for Jack White in the summer. I don't normally do it either. I'm
Yeah.
getting too old for lawns. I like to have a seat, but
I'll never do it.
I didn't. As long as the weather's good, it's a nice night. It's fine.
Yeah, true.
Because the sound's okay. You're like it sounds really good up there.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 10 band that I just really discovered in the last couple of years and have turned into one of my favorite bands of all time. Prog band, the Canterbury area of England, is Caravan. And their classic album is called In the Land of Grey and Pink. And also one of the great album covers of all time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love these guys. It's much more, it's not in your face prog. Like it's really kind of more mellowy prog to me. It's, their vocals are softer and it's just not really, it's more accessible, I think, if you're not really a big prog fan. But yeah, I love these guys. And Land of Grey and Pink is my number 10.
Very
Let me see if I can. The Beatles or the Rolling Stones? Beatles. Hey guys, I'm at Mellencamp. Half of old movie clips. Weird. Oh, he's showing old movie clips rather than That's interesting. We want John. We want a set. We want a running. Keep a list of the songs.
If he tosses a cigarette butt in the audience, catch it.
Yeah, catch it
in your teeth.
Yeah, it hurts my heart that John Prine doesn't get anywhere near the appreciation he deserves. Yeah, well, yeah, I agree.
He does on my channel.
Yeah. Jeff, he loves Caravan. Thanks, Jeff. Great band. Okay, we're at number 9.
Number 9 for me, another artist that I talk about quite a bit. I've seen him 3 times, once at a festival and twice as the main act, and that is Mr. Pokey LaFarge. Americana. I don't even want to call him Americana because he's not. I mean, this album itself, this is my favorite by him, called Manic Revelations. It's almost rockabilly, and you can see he's kind of, him and the boys kind of have like a rockabilly look on the back. Very, very cool, slap bass and, electric guitars on this album. He started doing like classic, like St. Louis type music, almost like he drew influences from Jimmy Rogers and from some sounds from New Orleans, groups like that. And so those first few albums are very, very old sounding, very like almost like a Leon Redbone kind of throwback sound to those first few records. This album came out on Rounder, so it was a major label release. And this one just blew my mind because a completely different change of direction for him musically. And honestly, I mean, I'm hard pressed not to say that the 2 albums after this aren't just as good, if not better. And the more I listen to them, the closer they get to this level. But if you don't know Pokey LaFarge, and if you're kind of afraid of, washboard kind of music, check this album out because it's very rockabilly. So it's a nice little like intro to Pokey, and his voice has this really cool like quiver in it. For those of you that know, but he's just one of the coolest guys, and if you see him live do it, he's awesome. So.
Is he anywhere along the lines of Leon Redbone?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, he's like Leon Redbone.
Yeah.
At least there's early albums. It's that same kind of throwback, but also kind of keeps it fresh sounding.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
Number 9. Number 9.
My number 9. Again, not to be purposely obscure, but it's another Canadian band. Most people don't know. This is the phenomenal album Terminal Romance by a guy named Matt Mays. Matt Mays is a rocker from Eastern Canada. He is flipping awesome. He's got about 8 or 9 studio albums. He's been making music since the early 2000s. This came out in 2008, and it is a rock record, grab you by the balls. It's phenomenal. It features Adam Baldwin, who's one of my favorite guitar players, who might make an appearance in a little bit. Also, the late great Jay Smith is on here, who was his other guitar player who tragically took his own life while they were on tour 2 nights after I saw them. But this is just a phenomenal album. There were a couple singles off here, but no one outside of Canada would know it. But Matt's won several Junos for like Rock Album of the Year. A Juno is the Canadian equivalent to the Grammys. So just an absolutely phenomenal balls to the wall rock and roll record. Terminal Romance.
Cool. I just wrote that down. I got to listen to that.
Oh, it's his best album by far. It's awesome.
Okay, this is the only really obscure artist I have that isn't in the rock vein. One of my musical heroes, one of the greatest musicians on the planet, Bela Fleck.
I knew that was going to show up.
Fleck and the Flecktones, Flight of the Cosmic Hippo.
That's a great title for a record.
Bela put this band together with Victor Wooten, who's one of the great bass players of all time, and his brother Roy Wooten, who's known as Future Man, and a gentleman from Chicago. Why am I forgetting his name? Who plays harmonica and keyboards? Howard Levy, and it's a mixture of bluegrass, funk, and jazz, and just the most interesting band. Great live band, and all world-class musicians. This album was up for Jazz Album of the Year, the Grammys, when it came out, and it's very rare, actually. It's this is $100 record if you're trying to buy it on Discogs. So, but the CD's available and stuff. But anyway, Bela, one of my musical heroes,
and part of the inspiration for our band name.
Yes, that's right, Cosmic Torpedoes.
Yep.
Just popped in and you showed Matt Mays. I have his entire discography. He is the Canadian Tom Petty. Wow, Steve.
Yeah, I can see that. I think his early stuff, his later stuff, he's a little harder than Tom Petty, but yeah, I mean, in the singer-songwriter sense, sure.
That's cool that Steve discovered him. Does he have a following in the U.S.?
I don't know him.
Wow,
you'd
cool.
Like his first couple records, Sam. His self-titled album would be right up your alley, and his second album, which was called Matt Mays and El Torpedo, you'd like those.
Okay.
Check out a song called "City of Lakes." I think you'd dig that.
I'm gonna write that down.
It's on YouTube.
Okay, we're down to number 8.
Matt Mays,
City of Lakes.
City of Lakes. Okay.
Yeah, that's the song you should start with.
I've got it saved here on my YouTube to listen to. Number 8, one of my favorites, and this is probably the surprise record in terms of, not many people will consider this their favorite by this artist. He has some that are masterpieces. I'm going to go with Van Morrison and the album Beautiful Vision. Absolutely love this album. It came out in 1982. So it's some of that early Van kind of atmospheric sound, but I've said this in many videos. I've said it talking about this album in particular. I've done it in my 100 favorite albums list. Don't sleep on 80s Van, because he's got some great stuff. I mean, albums like this, Into the Music, which I think was late 70s actually, but Avalon Sunset is another great one from the 80s. Common one, I think it was 1980. So there's some really great stuff. This album in particular, some songs that he still does live. Dweller on the Threshold is a really kind of guitar-driven song. Beautiful Vision, the title track's a fantastic ballad. Mm-hmm. Cleaning Windows is autobiographical about him as a young boy. Really a funky song.
Great. One of my favorite Van Morrison songs.
It's a great song, and
Mick Jagger sings on that. You know that?
Yeah, Mick Jagger's uncredited on background vocals, but it's just a funky song. He's got a couple of instrumentals, like the last song, Scandinavia. The last true song is called Across the Bridge Where Angels Dwell, which is just a really beautiful, just a love song. But I mean, I love this album. I love the production on it. If you're afraid of 80s Van Morrison, check this album out. I think, to me, this is Van Morrison's Infidels. It's just that strong of an album for him in that time period. So Beautiful Vision is number
Very
8.
cool. I had a hard time keeping Van out of my top 10, but he didn't make it.
And he'll forgive you, maybe.
Yeah. Number 8.
Number 8 is my fantasy wife,
Taylor Swift.
Oh, God damn it. Do you not watch any of my videos, Sam?
I've seen one or two, yeah.
That's my fantasy girlfriend.
Oh.
Fantasy wife, Susanna Hoff.
I thought it was Big Mama Thornton.
I love the Bengals. I mean, it's pretty simplistic 80s pop, but it's still great. It was a toss-up for me between this and the album they did after they reunited in 2003 called Doll Revolution, which is fantastic. It's a little more of a, girl group garage rock kind of thing as they had originally started out. This was their commercial successful album. It's got Manic Monday on it, which was the song Prince wrote for them.
Yep.
I Walk Like an Egyptian, but I like this album in spite of those. There's so many other great tracks on here. I mean, the title track, In a Different Light, is great. Walking Down Your Street, Standing in a Hallway, Return Post. Susanna Hoff singing If She Knew What She Wants is just... I might need a minute alone here. I love this record. I mean, I love the Bengals, and
I never listened to a Bengals record.
Me either.
Yeah.
And most people don't, right? Because most people just go, okay, Walk Like an Egyptian, Manic Monday, and Eternal Flame. Yeah. I don't care. And you know what? I can understand why people would just dismiss them as that, but actually a pretty good band. And while they did a lot of covers in the later couple albums, especially the stuff they did after they reunited, it was a lot of original songs. Vicki Peterson's actually a pretty good songwriter. She did some stuff with a band called the Continental Drifters, and the Bengals re-recorded some of those songs. So, Gary agrees with me. Doll Revolution is a great album. It starts off with a cover of an Elvis Costello song, and the Bengals version of it is.
I know that song. Yeah, it's a Doll Revolution.
Doll Revolution. Tear Off Your Own Head. Sorry, Tear Off Your Own Head.
Wow. I've heard that on Little Steven's channel.
Yeah, the Bengals version of that is awesome.
Yeah,
well, you should never close your ears to stuff like that. Like, someone turned me on to the Go-Go's once. I never would have ever listened to the Go-Go's in my whole freaking life. And I had 2 or 3 people going, you got to hear this album. And I found it used, and I bought it. It's a really good record.
if you like the Go-Go's, then you'll like the Bengals. And they're not that dissimilar.
And they're jangly.
Susanna Hoff's is to die for.
Okay, let me get number 8 out of the way, and then we can
don't forget to stump us in the comments.
This is Rob's new favorite album. Yes,
imagine that.
Edge. Rob just picked this up on Sunday.
I did. When I was thrifting.
I'm anxious to hear, anxiously awaiting his review.
I was thrifting with the wife, and I saw it, and a voice that sounded like Glenn said, "Buy it."
This is such an amazing album. It's just brilliant. That the first song, Close to the Edge, with all broken down into parts, where it gets into I get up, I get down. That whole part is just vocally just so beautiful. Anyway, I absolutely love Close to the Edge. Great album. Took me a long time to get into Yes, but once I did,
I'll let you know later in the week what I think of it.
Yeah, it needs more than one listen. There's no doubt.
Okay, I'll let you know next week what I think of it.
Okay, let's cut up here. Steve is still going on an act Sam should get into. I've seen him twice here in Chicago, both times played to no more than 40 people.
Wow.
It's crazy. Mellencamp played Paper and Fire. He's hitting them with the hits. Steve, who is the French Tom Petty? Oh, is this a Stumpus question for Steve?
No.
Gary,
Like
He's
Gary
giving him a hard time.
Good call, Sam. I am a van completist through Doveden, but I see all of his other stuff in megastars all the time. What late, early 70s do you recommend?
Inarticulate Speech of the Heart is a good one. Obviously, Beautiful Vision.
What's the one in the garden? What's the one in the garden? No guru, no teacher, no method.
No guru, no method. Yeah,
that's a great one.
And even jump ahead to the 90s with 91. Go to Hymns to the Silence. It's a double record. It's one of my absolute favorites.
Hymns to the Silence is great.
And even The Healing Game in 97 is a great record.
That's a really good album.
Yeah.
Gary, go to bed. Gary, go to bed.
No, Gary, stay up and watch.
Oh, Thomas Petit. Yeah. Makes sense. What do they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France?
There you go.
Doll Revolution. It's a great album. Susanna Hoffs is beautiful and talented for sure. Isn't she like 80 years old now or something?
No, she's not even 70.
She's 60.
I just got off a show. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Grant.
Hey, Grant.
Essential, yes. Jeff's just boosting me right up here.
It's the Canadians.
We just did a yes show tonight. Oh, cool. I'm jealous of Rob. Imagine being able to hear that for a first time.
For yes, yeah.
10 out of 10 album, yes. Love Close to the Edge, yes. Susanna Hoffs and Madonna are the same age, just saying.
Yikes.
And one is sexy as hell, and one looks like a mutant.
And one's alien. Madonna, yeah.
Oh, that's cruel. Although she sure took a lot of flack from her performance on there, or her kind of whatever introduction on the Grammys. Oh, weird. It was weird. LOL. Hey, Alex, when the hell you putting up your channel? Oh,
there you go.
See, Alex, we're all asking, man.
All
you
the world's a
bunch
stage.
of subscribers waiting.
Myself, I have something worth.
You do. Just do it.
You do, man.
Susanna hasn't messed up her face like Madonna.
She hasn't messed up anything.
Me either, Rob. I mean, Gary.
Yeah. That's crazy. Okay, we're at number 7.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for people that are going to be sick of the kind of off the beaten path artist, but you can't help who you like. This is one that I know Rich gave Brian and y'all's CD exchange, Glenn. That is the debut by The Head and the Heart. It's self-titled. This album, it came out 12 years ago. It came out in 2011 on Sub Pop, which is also where Nick Lowe, a lot of indie and kind of folk artists are on Sub Pop. But I don't know, this album, I got into this album at the right time in my life. 2020, so it was right during COVID is when I really became a diehard Head and the Heart fan. This album is just, to me, it's perfect from the top to the bottom, and it's not everybody's cup of tea because it's very kind of mellow, acoustic-y, but for me, it was the exact album that I needed at that particular time in my life. I got to see The Head and the Heart for the first time back in September. I didn't realize it, but I was fighting strep throat at the time, but it was still a killer show. And I've got all their albums since, including the live album that came out. There was a documentary about them on Amazon that came out for their 10-year anniversary back in, I guess it would have been 2020, because I think they started a year before this album came out. But it's just a fantastic album. I love it. I play a couple of these songs live in my set, and I love everything about this album. So Head and the Heart debut.
Well, very cool. Now, what's the dude's name in that band?
The dude? Well, technically they have 2 male lead singers for the first couple of albums. Josiah Johnson, who left due to some drug issues, and then the other one is Jonathan.
Yeah, that's the guy. Jonathan something. So anyway, the reason I'm asking is because they just announced every year in New York, or every couple of years, they do this tribute thing to raise money for some big deal for musicians, I think. And this year they're celebrating Paul McCartney,
John Russell,
and they made the list of who's who's coming to perform all McCartney songs, and one of the dude from The Head and the Heart is part of it. So
he lives. His mom actually still lives in Richmond, even though they're based out of Seattle. And he's not from Virginia originally, but his home is in Richmond. And so when I saw them in Richmond, so it was kind of like a hometown show. The opener was a guy that they knew growing up, and so he came out and did a duet with just him and John. He's a great singer. He said one of his bigger influences are groups like the Eagles, because he likes to keep kind of like that mellow tone to all of his songs.
Mm-hmm.
He said if all of my songs could be like Eagles songs, I'd be happy. So anyway.
Cool. I just wrote the name down because you always hear you talk about them, but I never really listen, so I'm going to check them out.
I don't know if you'll like it, but because I mean, we'll see.
Just because I didn't like Camp.
Right, you didn't like Camp. They're different than Camp. All right.
Rob is up with number. What are we at? Number 7?
7.
This is a little cliche, but we can't help who we like, and I love Fleetwood Mac, and I love all eras of Fleetwood Mac, from Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac to the current incarnation with Neil Finn and Mike Campbell. But if I have to pick one,
you have to.
Oh.
Rumors.
How can you argue?
Right? I mean, what more do I say? It's freaking Fleetwood Mac's Rumors.
There you go.
One of an album that should be in everyone's collection.
Absolutely. Essential.
I have Rich Strickler to thank for giving it to me. I didn't own it.
We should. That'd be a good video one time. What are the albums that everyone should own?
Yeah, and we can each show 10 albums.
And Rumors is one of them.
Yep. I've got like 3 different pressings of it. I've got the 45 RPM 2 LP Palace pressing, which sounds incredible.
He has Rumors.
The only album that I could name that I've never heard anybody say they don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people complain it's overplayed, and parts of it are, sure.
Yeah, but that's depends what you're listening to.
Right.
If you're just listening at home, it's not overplayed. It's only
Rob has Rumors when it used to just be called Gossip,
Yeah, Gossip.
I mean,
Tall Tales.
Yeah.
Thinking of the series that Sam's doing about albums that influenced him, and he just did Abbey Road, and that may spur me to do an Abbey Road video as well. The number 2 album so Abbey Road was the album that started it all for me, and this was the next one that's just
very cool.
Blew my mind when I was getting into music, because when I was getting into music, that album had been out for 20 years. So
wow. Okay, my number 7. I became obsessed with 2 artists this year, the artists that I liked, but never realized how much I was going to just go crazy for them to become favorite artists of all time. Well, they're both going to show up tonight, but this is showing up right now. XTC, just the most brilliant band on the planet. And this album, English Settlement, I just think is one of the greatest albums of all time. I play it all the time, and I just think this is absolutely brilliant songwriting, brilliant playing. The bass and the drums are just hypnotic. What a great frickin' album. I can't say enough about it. I just absolutely love it. I can't believe I missed it for so many years. That's my number 7. Let's get caught up here. Okay, we got when are you putting up your channel? Suzanne hasn't messed up her face like Madonna. Okay, let's leave poor Madonna alone. Come on, Sam. What's that mean?
Oh, he's hyping up Head in the Heart.
Oh, Head in the Heart. Let's go. Why is Madonna on that album cover? They kind of look like her. That album cover from Stanley Kubrick. That Head in the Heart debut is a perfect album. The following 2 are great too. Then they got away from the indie folk side and got more poppy, and it didn't care for it as much, but they're still solid.
I still like those last 2 that they did though. But yeah, I'm with you.
Haha, which one is Madonna? Grant, it wasn't the blonde.
Yeah, there it is.
All the world stage. Haha. I just finished reading a book by Ken Kalat, Rumors producer. He is no fan of Stevie. Oh, interesting.
The cocaine didn't help.
I used to have Rumors on 8-track in grade 7. Played the crap out of it. Wow. Was that one of those 8 tracks where you'd get half the song and then they'd click over to the next track and you get to hear the rest of it?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Uh-oh. I should pick that book up. Yeah, Grant, I was just thinking the same thing. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Give us the sound effect, Rob. We don't have the graphic, but stump us. It's coming.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Seemed like you had a bit of gas, but
Well, maybe. Would have been better with the graphic, but
is it
Glenn's
a good read? I
not
imagine
that
that book would
technically
be
savvy,
really
so Glenn and I got to figure that.
Gary, thank you for spelling Rumors correctly.
The grammar police.
Was Ken the one guy Stevie didn't sleep with or something? What song was booted off of Rumors, although showed up? Silver Springs.
Silver Springs.
Grant, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I bet you it's a pretty good book. Anything. Thank you for noticing, Stevie. There's Stevie according to the book.
Which is pretty bad because she had Mick Fleetwood.
I think Apple Venus is even more brilliant. Yeah, Apple Venus is a great album too. I don't actually own that in my collection, but I have like a promo CD that had Apple Venus and Wasp. What the other one was with all the songs on it from those. Silver Springs, that's great. Day Tripper. Dun, 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 dun. Correct, Silver Springs, my favorite song. Yeah, that's a great song.
It was actually issued as a single to accompany the album.
Yeah,
when she does it live, that is
incredible.
With Lindsay off to the side there.
Yeah, that is good.
Speaking of, before we get into the next round, did y'all see that Steven Stills and Neil Young are going to play together?
Yeah, they're doing something for some charity or something, right?
For a charity, and they're going to have a couple of Stills' sons are going to be there, and Crosby's son is going to be there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's his first concert since 2019.
Wow.
For Neil. Yeah, it's charity.
Wow, that's crazy. Hey, Day Tripper. Okay. Number 6.
Y'all knew this band had to show up for me, and Alex will be happy. The Avett Brothers.
My favorite Avett Brothers album.
I Am Loving You, with beautiful artwork by Scott Avett. Just, again, one of those perfect albums to me that came. Actually, I listened to this album today before I even realized I was going to be able to do this with you all. I just put it in the car on the way to work. This has a couple of their bigger hits. First of all, it's produced by Rick Rubin, so you know you're in for some nice production. Benmont Tench has some sessions on here. He plays some piano on a couple of tracks. I Am Loving You is the title track. It's the opening track. Beautiful song. It's one of the best love songs, and it's just a unique way to write a love song. One of their, again, hits, Head Full of Doubt. That's in some commercials. January Wedding is a beautiful song. Kick Drum Heart is a fun kind of live track. Laundry Room is a great breakdown at the end with a fiddle and, just fast-paced strumming. A great song called Tin Man, not the America song, but just again, an all-around great Avett Brothers album. This is really when they started focusing on their songwriting over how much noise they could make, because they were kind of like almost like a punk bluegrass band / country. They would try to they had some screamo elements almost, like some of their earlier raw cuts. But this is the album where Rick was like, y'all are good songwriters. Why don't you focus on the songs instead of shredding your vocals? And so they did, and it's harmony based. It's great, some hooks into it. Just great playing all the way around. Like I said, Rick Rubin always has some of the best session players that have been around for ages. Like I said, Benmont Tench is all over this album. So I Am Loving You by the Avets, number 7.
There's a song. I
love. Go ahead, Glenn.
No, you go ahead.
I love the Avets. I can't get into that album though.
Really?
Can't do it. I love the Carpenter. That's my favorite.
Oh,
yeah, the Carpenter's great.
Carpenter. That kind of Dandelion is up there for me too.
Yeah.
The Carpenter's wonderful.
That's a great one. That one, I mean, I have it digitally and I can't get into it.
Maybe that's why you song on there when he says funny how some people, and then the other guy kind of trails on the vocal on the that's on that album.
Which album?
Isn't that on the I Am Loving You album?
Oh, ain't it like most
ain't it just like some people?
The Perfect Space, I think. No. It's 10,000 Words.
I love that song.
10,000 Words. Yeah. It's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Rob.
All right, what are we on? Number 6 here?
6.
All right. None of these should be a surprise going forward, but I am a giant fan of U2. And
We are of you.
but I'm bummed. To the point that I could say that there's 3 or 4 of their albums that I would say are my favorite U2 album. I mean, Rattle and Hum is always up there. Octung Baby is always up there. And this one is always up there. All That You Can't Leave Behind.
That was the last U2 album I liked.
It's phenomenal. This is the anniversary 2LP repress. I've got an original first press on vinyl, which is worth a fortune. This came out in what was it, like 2020, something like that. I got into them during the Pop Mart tour. I don't really like the Pop album, but that tour was incredible, and I was dating a girl at the time that was a huge U2 crazy person. And then when this came out, and the first time I saw the video for Beautiful Day, I was like, holy shit, this is phenomenal. And I obviously knew all their catalog up to that point, but this is kind of like, call it the modern era Fleetwood, or the modern era U2. And I don't think there's a bad song on here. I saw them on this tour. It was incredible. Bono's performance of Kite at that concert literally moved me to tears, because it's about losing a loved one, sort of, and he had just lost his dad, and I had just lost my grandfather, who was my best friend, and it was just absolutely moved me. So this album this week is my favorite U2 record.
There you go.
Awesome.
That's one of those that's probably, that sentimental factor plays into that.
Yep, absolutely.
Because, again, there might be better records. Because, I mean, a few of mine, there's definitely better records with some of these bands. But, that sentimental part gets attached to it.
Oh,
this is one of those bands for me that, like I said, there could be 5 of their records that are my favorite. Because, how do you pick your favorite child, right? I only have one, thank goodness, child. But I have many U2 records.
Hey, I have that Sweetest Thing CD single if you want it.
Sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Hang on to it, and when we eventually meet up in person,
or you can just send me your address and I'll mail it to you.
Don't spend your money. We're gonna meet up, I'm sure, at some point soon. So
yeah. After I meet up with all my other VC friends
down in Florida,
I'd fit you in.
Yeah. Exactly.
John and I.
Yeah. My other obsession this year, I always appreciated him. Had quite a few of the albums, but never realized what a genius he was until Larry Graves lent me the Low album, which I just totally ignored for some reason. And I just think this is freaking brilliant. I love the instrumental songs on this album more than the vocal songs, but just a great record. And as soon as I heard this, I just went, my head exploded. I was buying everything I could get on. I don't think I'm missing anything in a Bowie's catalog now, and he's just become one of my all-time favorite artists. And so Low is a killer album at number 6. I gotta catch up here. John McVie said he cried every time Christine sang Songbird, and this was even after they were divorced.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Because he'd go, damn, alimony.
Yeah.
Just tuned in a couple of minutes ago. Have you guys already discussed the greatest Fleetwood Mac album? No. Well, the premise is that we did our top 10 favorite artists and then our favorite album from those artists. So
that's a phenomenal record as a Fleetwood
Mac. So Rob
Mac
chose
fan.
Rumors, and unless Sam and I pull Fleetwood Mac out of our hats here and then Play On comes up, you won't see it.
It will not be showing up in my list.
It is a great album.
I own it. I love it.
I'm throwing this out to the group. Does Rick Rubin really produce?
That's a good question.
He kind of just lets people do their thing, or
he produces more than I do.
Yeah, he produced a lot of freaking money. I know that.
Yeah,
Sam, that was the first Avett Brothers album that I heard. Was hooked since then. And January Wedding was everything. Yeah, they put together so many great albums that would be hard for me to rank. Maybe Emotionalism.
Emotionalism's right up there. It's quickly become a favorite for me, Alex.
Yeah, The Carpenter, the one that Rob mentioned, is
Emotionalism was like the first great Avett Brothers album, I think. Yeah, those are the EPs that they came out. They were like all acoustic EPs. They just put out one in 2020, which was fantastic.
As I said before, the Ballad of Love and Hate is a top 5 song for me of all time, and Souls Like the Wheels is maybe top 20.
Ballad of Love and Hate is just gut wrenching. That's why, again, that's another one that I play quite a bit.
I want to say I appreciate U2. Love such an incredible band, and people have loved making fun of them. It's no longer cool to love U2, but I absolutely do, and love that you do too.
You're gonna go to Vegas, Alex, to see him at the Madison
That'd be
Square
interesting,
Garden
wouldn't
Dome, the MGM Dome, whatever it's called.
I have nothing but respect for U2. I just find that it got kind of samey. I don't know. It just, but that's their sound, I guess. So.
Yeah.
I saw Rick Beato's rant today.
And
he did. I'm not going to say anything on the topic because I'm going to do a video in the next day or two, my thoughts on exactly the same topic.
Cool.
The controversy is that they're playing without Larry Mullen Jr. because he has to have back surgery. So it's the first time in the 48-year history of the band that it's not the four of them.
Oh, wow.
Other than one time when Adam Clayton stepped off for alcoholism, his tech sat in one night.
This is like some other drummer from I don't know where, but
Denmark or Norway or somewhere.
So how long is Adam Clayton out?
No, Larry Mullen Jr.
Or Larry Mullen.
He said all 2023 at least.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because he's like a lot of drummers. He has that nerve damage in his back.
Yeah. That's got to be the hardest thing as you get older, the drums.
Yeah.
Even it was sad to hear Roger Daltrey the other night too. He had to walk off stage. Hey, did you see that?
No.
They're playing in Florida, and he put an hour in, and he went, "I'm sorry, I got to stop. I'm damaging my throat so badly, I'll never be able to sing again." And he apologized and walked off the stage, like totally upset with himself.
Wow.
And at 79 years of age, to be able to belt out those Who songs, I think it's something else. And
he's allergic to he said that he's allergic to pot smoke, and he'll yell at the crowd to put out the joints.
Yeah,
like his throat just completely like closes in on itself.
But I hope he's okay.
I do too. Wow, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Mazzy.
Hey, Mazzy. Then Play On's my number one. Yeah, that's a great album.
It's phenomenal.
That's very true.
Spiritual director more than a technical producer.
Just watched the Avett Brothers documentary called oh crap, why can't I think of it? May It Last, that Judd Apatow did, and Rick Rubin is in it. Like you can really see how Rick Rubin works.
Is it on YouTube or?
It was on HBO Max, but I think it's been put elsewhere. I think you can find it on Amazon, maybe for like a rental.
Yeah, Steve, you and I have both been on a Bowie kick then, yeah, because it's gotten ridiculous. Watch Richard McCook's channel and check out. He did a whole thing on ranking all of Bowie's live albums, and I didn't realize Bowie had so many live albums.
A ton of them.
16 of them or something.
Yep.
I think I may have 8. Rants are good reviews. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Nicol.
Remember the Beatles in Australia? No, Ringo.
And that's a point I'm going to talk about.
Jimmy Nichols.
I'm going to talk about the YouTube rant.
Yeah. What a cool story to be able to tell your grandkids, man. I was a Beatle for a day.
Then Play On is brilliant.
Roger has earned the right. Yes, he has. The monkeys like rant videos. I like rant videos. Every once in a while,
yeah, we know you don't like shorts either.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
I almost said the F word there. Shorts. Don't get me going.
Jeff said, "What about a rant short?"
Yeah, short rant. I was going to do another whole video on shorts, and I thought, no, I'm overdoing it now. I got to shut up. People want to do shorts. Go do your shorts. Knock yourself out. Just leave me alone.
I'm going to do a video just for you.
Yeah.
Where I'm going to come in and I'm just going to wear different pairs of shorts.
Yeah, that would be good. And make it, yeah. My God. Okay, we're up to number 5.
Number 5.
Let's get rolling in this.
Here we go, folks. This is, again, another one of those things where I'm going to be probably doing a video at some point about why this person matters. People love to hate him, but I love him. John Mayer. And it's my favorite album by his by a long shot. Born and Raised came out in 2012. After all of his controversy, he moved to Montana. Kind of became.
Might be moving to Montana soon.
He got out of the Los Angeles limelight. He started listening to a lot of Neil Young, Bob Dylan, CSN, a lot of the Laurel Canyon people, Joni Mitchell, and like I've said before, Crosby and Nash were on this album on the title track. So he's pulling in the big guns. He's got great. It's kind of like a lost Laurel Canyon album, and as much as you want to hate on John Mayer, I mean, these songs are just fantastic. The song "Walt Grace's Submarine Test" is just a great example of storytelling. Queen of California is an awesome opener. The guitar is just clean. The whole album is very acoustic, but there are some nice, tasty electric guitar licks. And like I said, the harmony is very Crosby, Stills, and Nash all throughout the album. And he's kind of apologizing to the world, like, of what he had said about, Jessica Simpson and everything when he was going through that crap, kind of his midlife crisis. The song Shadow Days is kind of about that. And so is the song A Face to Call Home. But this is to me, it's a modern masterpiece. And it reminds me of this time of year, January and February, because I got it around New Year's one year and really listened to a lot in January of 2013, I guess. So Born and Raised, John Mayer.
There we go. I'm speechless.
I'm without speech, yeah.
I have nothing to comment on that because
I don't know.
I'm telling you, that album is fantastic.
I don't have anything against John Mayer. I never really paid any attention to him.
Same here. I don't dislike him, but I don't.
Yeah, and I know he's
trying to investigate any further. All right, my number five is another band that's not cool to like, and that's fine. It's after Abbey Road and Rumors. This is an album that shaped me immensely in the summer of 1990. I don't know, 6 or whenever this came out. When I was a teenager, just discovering music. This was the first album I discovered on my own that wasn't something that was in my dad's collection. What's the Story? Morning Glory by Oasis. I know it's not cool to like Oasis. I don't give a shit.
It's very cool, like Oasis.
I love them.
I own that album.
This album for me, this is one of those albums that has so much sentimentality attached to it. Every song is a different memory of that summer and where I was in my life and the person I was with and the things that we did. And I just, this is part of the soundtrack of my life. Love this band. So
very cool.
I listened to Be Here Now today.
Great record. I like that one too. A lot of people say that's kind of a bloated a bloated overproduction or a bloated masterpiece, depending on your perspective.
It's bloated. It's bloated. Every song is like 5 minutes long at least.
And there's some songs that have like 60 guitar tracks, but there are some great songs on that.
Oh yeah.
So my number 5, and it kind of we seem to be having a theme here from John Mayer to Oasis to Frank Zappa. I don't know how that relates, but
sure.
Hot Rats, my favorite Zappa album. I don't know what to say. Man's a genius, and this is an amazing album, mostly instrumental, except for one song. And the song that isn't instrumental is Willie the Pimp, and it's got a vocal performance by Captain Beefheart, but the guitar solo in that song is so freaking good. Great album, Hot Rats.
I liked your Frank Zappa video, Glenn.
Well, thank you.
I found it useful.
Thank you. Okay, let's get caught up here. Steve thinks Gary went to bed. I think he's lurking. Sam, Rob, and I are going to listen to Dear John by Taylor Swift, and you're on.
You better be serious, because there's no knocking Taylor Swift on live streams I'm a part of.
I love Taylor.
I think Alex does. I think he is a fan of Taylor Swift.
Very good then. We can still be friends.
Mazzy, I love that Oasis album, even though they are wankers. And
you're absolutely right, Mazzy. They're wankers, but it is a great record.
Do they show up on your wanker list, Mazzy? I like Oasis and have everything they released.
Wow,
Same here.
that's a lot.
Oasis, Mastering from Hell. It's a hard listen. Okay, number 4.
All right, these are the big guns, and
We are.
other than this one, the other 3, follow my order of favorite albums. So there's not going to be many surprises here. Number 4 for me, my favorite album, mostly because of sentimental reasons at this point. Full Moon Fever.
Shocking.
Tom Petty. I almost pulled Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, but it's funny because I think my favorite Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers album is Into the Great Wide Open, which was the follow-up to this. So, it's it kind of goes hand in hand. But I mean, I did a whole video about this, how it shaped my musical direction as a late middle schooler. I mean, it's jam packed with greatness. I mean,
it's a great album. Yeah.
Free Fallin', I Won't Back Down, Running Down a Dream. They were the big hits on here. But then you have the cuts like the Birds cover of I Feel a Whole Lot Better, the Apartment song, which is wonderful. Even the goofy Zombie Zoo, the last track. It's got there's some musical notes from George Harrison, obviously Jeff Lynne, Roy Orbison briefly is on here, but you would never know he was on there unless the credits said otherwise. Facing the Crowd is one of his ballads. You're So Bad, funny lyrics and that, just classic Tom Petty all the way around. It's it's kind of paving the way for where he was going to go with Wildflowers, with songs like A Facing the Crowd. That could have been a Wildflowers cut. Even Running Down a Dream kind of has that grit of a song like You Wreck Me, kind of there's that killer Mike Campbell solo. A Mind with a Heart of Its Own is one of the deeper cuts with that Bo Diddley beat. Just a very fun record. It's, if you don't know Tom Petty at all, like if you only heard his greatest hits, start here because you automatically have 3 greatest hits on the record, and all the deep tracks are just fantastic. And I'll always say, and I'll go to my grave saying that Tom Petty never made a bad song, and that includes Zombie Zoo.
I love Zombie Zoo.
Yeah.
Hey, do 3 and do so you did number 4, do 3 and 2, and then we'll do 3 in a row here, just so we can move on.
Okay.
It's getting so.
All right.
Well, we'll all reveal our number 1 in a turn.
Okay. Well, again, like I said, these are no surprises here because they completely match up on my list. But if people didn't see that, then I'll just show it. Number 3, Blood on the Tracks.
Oh.
Bob Dylan. Again, it's another one of those albums where if somebody doesn't know Bob Dylan, this is the album I'm handing them. It's either this or Infidels, which is my second favorite Bob Dylan album. Tangled Up in Blue was a huge song. It's one that he still changes live with the lyrics just because he said that story was never complete. A lot of people call this his divorce album when he was divorcing his wife. I know Jacob Dylan remembers kind of some of the writing sessions during this, and he remembers hearing this album constantly because hearing the demos as a young boy. Simple Twist of Fate goes song number 2. I mean, just a beautiful song. Skip ahead to a couple. Obviously, Idiot Wind is a kind of a funny song, but it's also really a harsh song to his former lover. You're Gonna Make Me Lonesome When You Go is just a great little country kind of ditty. Meet Me in the Morning for side 2 is just a
great
bluesy track. And plus Bob Dylan's playing in some killer tunings on this record. Hardly anything in standard tuning. One of my favorite tracks that he ever did, Lily, Rosemary, and the Jack of Hearts, one of his long, epic masterpiece story type songs. If You See Her, Say Hello, Shelter from the Storm, and then the fantastic closer of Buckets of Rain, which John Mayer does a killer cover of.
Really?
Buckets of Rain. So
interesting. Yeah, great album.
It's a great album. It's a masterpiece. Start
One
to
of his
finish.
best. One of his best.
It is.
Great pick. And number 2?
Number 2, I just did a video on it. Abbey Road.
Wow. What the heck's going to be number 1?
By the Beatles. Remember, I'm ranking these based on my favorite albums. I didn't rank them based on artists.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what else? I mean, you can't say anything that hasn't already been said. It's Abbey Road by the Beatles. To me, it's their best. And I was great in my video. A lot of people were commenting that were around my age or even into their 40s, saying that this was the album that got them into the Beatles. That's, second and third generation Beatles fans. And Tommy, my friend, has a really good point. This is the album that sounds the most like what we consider as classic rock in the Beatles catalog. Everything else, you could make an argument that it sounds dated, to not to throw that word around, but it sounds like the 60s. But this album is one that, a kid today, you can say, here, the Beatles aren't just old fogies, here's Abbey Road. You should try this out. And then they're like, oh yeah, that I can hear where, they kind of could be like Zeppelin or, Pink Floyd or whatever. Because you got kind of like have the prog with, I Want You, Because, or Sun King, or very kind of spacey, proggy kind of sounding songs. So Abbey Road, I could go on, and I kind of did on a video that I did on my channel. So that's number 2.
What can you say about Abbey Road? Brilliant. Masterpiece.
Masterpiece.
All right. My number 4 is the band.
Yes,
oh,
sir.
Nice.
I love the band. I own everything the band ever put out. Phenomenal. Aside from Levon, these guys are from a little town in Stratford, Ontario, about 45 minutes from where I live. Everybody loves Big Pink, but for me, their second album is
their
the
best.
better one. Across the Great Divide is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Love Rag Mama Rag. Tonight They Drove Old Dixie Down. Up on Cripple Creek. I love Jemima Surrender.
Yeah.
Unfaithful Servant.
Oh,
yeah.
Rick Danko.
I mean,
my favorite band songs on that album, Rockin' Chair. I just love that song.
Wow.
I just love this. I remember my dad when I was getting into music, and I might do a whole video about my dad and he's my musical hero and how I got into music. But I remember when I'd been listening to the Beatles, and he handed me a copy of this and said, just try this.
Trust me.
I was blown away, and I still own his copy. It's still in my collection. So
cool.
Yeah, that's my number 4. And number 3, unfortunately for everybody, is an obscure one that no one is going to know. I talk about this guy all the time. This is Adam Baldwin. I showed that Matt Mays record a little while ago, the pink one with the heart on it, Terminal Romance. Adam is Matt Mays' guitar player. He is a singer-songwriter from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. I think he is truly Canada's undiscovered musical national treasure. I wish I could scream from the mountaintops that everybody needs to hear his music, because he is the artist I'm more excited about than any music I've heard in the last 15 years. He's got about 4 albums out. He sounds sort of like an East Coast Canadian Springsteen-inspired rocker, but this album is different. He just put this out last fall. It's called Concertos and Serenades. This is an autographed copy. It doesn't normally have that on there. This is Adam trying to write a Stan Rogers record. So it's a folk record, an electric folk record about sort of the gritty, hard life that is growing up in Nova Scotia and Eastern Canada. And it is amazing. It is a storyteller's record.
Cool.
He paints some pictures. There's a song in here called Causeway Road that is phenomenal. What's a good one? Lighthouse in Little Lorraine is a fictional tale that he sort of sewed together from some various stories that he heard growing up. Like it was rumored that they used to run cocaine from Boston up to the Maritimes, and it's about how they would offload the cocaine off the ships, and it does not end well for the main character in the story. There's another song here called The Voice of the Eastern Passage. It's about a famous radio host that everyone heard on the airwaves in Eastern Canada, and all of these have a dark undertone to each of the songs. But this is I wish everyone could hear this record. It is phenomenal. Adam Baldwin. And my number 2, this will come to no surprise to Glenn and Sam, because I talk about them all the time. Blue Rodeo.
Outskirts. I'm glad you picked Outskirts.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Canadian roots rock, country rock institution, around for almost 40 years. They are the most awarded band in Canada when it comes to the Junos. They've
What a
got
great
like
record that is.
18 studio albums. This was their first album from 1987.
Yeah.
This is actually the 2012 remix. Greg Keeler, the lead singer, went back to the master.
You like the remix?
I love the remix. The remix is phenomenal. He just modernized it just ever so slightly. This is virtually impossible to find on vinyl, but a couple great songs in here. Try was the monster.
Yeah.
It's a Canadian anthem. And Rose Colored Glasses is the other one everyone knows. So,
and the title song Outskirts is so good. It's about John F. Kennedy's son.
Yep.
Suffering with his drug addiction, sitting in a hotel room in Mexico, I think, and having an overdosing. And it's a pretty crazy song.
Absolutely phenomenal country rock record.
Yeah, that's a great record. Yeah, awesome.
Cool. I knew that was coming.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, number 4 for me. One of my favorite bands of all time. And one of the great albums of all time. 1969. King Crimson, In the Court of the Crimson King. Probably my favorite album cover of all time. I wish I could paint that mural on a wall or on my ceiling. That'd be
something to wake up to,
wouldn't it?
Oof.
Yeah, just a brilliant album. I mean, just brilliant. The song Epitaph, just Grateful Dead. Number 3, American Beauty. I picked American Beauty.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I don't have this on vinyl.
Wow.
It bugs me that I don't have it on vinyl.
Even the 50th that just came out last year?
Yeah, I haven't bought it yet.
Wow.
And number 2 for me, Bob, my favorite Dylan album, Blonde on Blonde.
I got the Vinyl Me Please pressing on the way in the mail right now.
Cool. Now, when Mazzy just did a great video comparing the OGE copy and the MoFi and the Vinyl Me Please. I don't know if you know this, Mazzy, if you're still watching, but you got a link to your video on. I don't know if you guys follow the Expecting Rain website. You're going there. You got to check it out. It's you got to bookmark it. It's every day they put up anything to do with Bob Dylan. Is on there. There's probably a list of about 10 or 12, 15 links a day, but it's not just Bob. It's anybody who you'd ever think would be associated. If there's something comes up about John Prine, they'll put it down there or something, but they linked Mazzy's video on the Expecting Rain website today. So
very cool.
Anyway, that's my number 2. So we're going to do number 1 now.
You want to get caught up on comments?
Yeah.
Okay. I was hoping I was going to just rush through the thing so we could.
We can do whatever. We can show the last album.
Zappa's one guy I'd like to have had extended conversation with. Yes. I bet you Zappa would have liked to have had an extended conversation with you too, Bobby. You could have taken him fishing. Can you imagine that? Hey, Jeff. I'm out of here. Well, thanks, Grant.
Thank you, Grant.
Already. His best 70s album. I think Mazzy's referring to
Bobby.
Blood on the Tracks.
Yeah, he's correct.
Yeah. Steve, Infidels is my number 1.
Yeah, Steve and I have talked about that.
Abbey Road, number 1. The band is perfect. They're very best. Yes, absolutely. What a great album. Jamie Cottle and Justin Bieber. I agree with Jamie Cottle, famous people that come from Stratford. Absolutely. Who has more box sets in their collection, Justin Bieber or Jamie Cottle? Rob, is Adam the lefty with long black hair and glasses?
No, that's Adam there, the guy that kind of looks like Bruce Springsteen.
Love Stan Rogers, yes. Stan, rest in peace, but great singer-songwriter. Possible use between 2 first band albums. The Spacey Big Pink's at least as great as the Pure Roots of the second album. Looking out here in Cleveland. Yeah. I mean, they're both fantastic albums, but Shakespeare put Stratford on the map. Yeah, Willie did helped out a lot. ER's Essential Dylan Info. Yeah, Expecting Rain. Just great website. If you're not on it, get on it. What website?
Expecting Rain.
What Expecting Rain. It's called. Dylan Wankers. Yes, Dylan Wankers is right. Okay, let's get our number ones in here.
Yeah, and again, like the way that I ranked these 10 was based on how the albums ranked. I know y'all did it based kind of on artists. So obviously Abbey Road would have been number one. It would have been the last one I showed because the Beatles are my favorite. This one probably would have been more middle of the grouping based on artist, but I mean, it's my all-time favorite album, Pet Sounds, by the Beach Boys. I love the Beach Boys. I love, I'm really getting into their, late 60s, 70s catalog with, Wild Honey, Holland, things like that. Surf's Up. Obviously, I love the Smile Sessions from 67. Just, again, this is one of those albums, it took time for me. It probably took me 5 or 6 listens, really, to really get this record. And I was maybe a junior in college when I was really getting into it. And when it hit me, it was like, yeah, that's it for me. And then, right around that time, the Love and Mercy biopic came out with Paul Dano and Cusack. Mm-hmm. And that really helped with my understanding of this. I read Brian's authorized autobiography that came out a few years ago. But yeah, I mean, obviously, it starts off with Wouldn't It Be Nice? Sloop John B is on here. Those are kind of the 2 big singles. And then, the magnum opus of God Only Knows, my all-time favorite song of any group, any genre. God Only Knows is number 1, probably number 2 and number 3 for me. Absolutely love it. But I also like the deep cuts. I love You Still Believe in Me. I love I'm Waiting for the Day, Here Today. I Just Wasn't Made for These Times. And then just the killer closer of Caroline No. I mean, what a awesome way to end an album. And I know Rob saw Brian like I did on this tour back in 2016 with Al Jardine and Blondie Chaplin. Just to see the maestro perform his
Yep.
It's like Beethoven performing his symphonies. It was awesome just to see that. And this will, I think, forever be my number 1 favorite album of all time, and it's Pet Sounds.
Wow, very cool.
Well, mine shouldn't come as a surprise because there's one group I haven't mentioned yet. My absolute favorite group and my absolute favorite album of all time.
Uh-oh. What could happen next?
Oh, you're an idiot, Rob. That's just stupid.
It's a bad album.
Abbey Road was the one that started it.
That album.
Abbey Road was the one that started it. And Sam, you really have inspired me. I am going to do an Abbey Road video.
Awesome. I can't wait.
But I remember, and I distinctly remember the first time I heard Abbey Road, my dad played it for me. But I also distinctly remember the first time I heard this, I was at my friend's girlfriend's house. And
was he there?
Yes.
Thought I'd throw it out
there. And he's still my best friend to this day. And I still talk to her, ironically. They're not a thing anymore. But nevertheless.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I remember you could have knocked me over with a feather. It changed my life. So.
Well, Glenn doesn't like the Beatles, remember?
That's the worst. That's the dumbest pick. You're kicked off the forum. That's it. We're not doing the chats anymore with you.
This is not a great pressing. This is the Mo-Fi one, but I've got 13 different pressings of it. So, what's that album, Glenn?
The greatest album ever made.
Oh, okay.
And my favorite album of all time, forever and ever. It will be my favorite album of all time. Sgt. Pepper's. There's no greater piece of work than this. In the history of mankind. Probably the invention of the wheel even doesn't match this.
Nope.
Fire.
Nope.
Whoever invented fire doesn't even come close to this.
Nope.
The automobile and
nothing.
Landing on the moon. Nothing. This is the Mona Lisa.
It is the pinnacle of human achievement.
Yes. This is Michelangelo's greatest work. Like it's splitting the atom. It's like that's enough.
All right, Glenn, well, tell us how you really feel about it.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Let's catch up on some thing here. I remember catching Love and Mercy at a theater in Palo Alto in the summer of 2015. Changed my life and instantly made me a Beach Boys.
It helped the whole generation.
Steve, never owned Pet Sounds. Make another selection, Sam. See,
I know.
Pet Sounds is a fantastic record, but it's 2 songs short of being a masterpiece. It's just got a couple of fillers. Like,
Yes,
that
agreed.
keep it from being that epic album that everybody says it is. It's got
Right.
probably 2 songs on it. You just go, oh, you just could have made those a little better.
Well, see, that's how I feel about Pepper.
Yeah?
That's how I feel about Pepper with about 3 tracks. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. No.
But I think it's generational part of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean that's why they're all that's why they're always
fitting end to our discussion.
Yeah. You know, to me that's Paul McCartney always likes to, it has a certain slant of how the Beatles history is, and he has these stories in his head that he always tells. And I get the feeling he made that up. Like, Pepper has nothing to do with Pet Sounds.
Well, no, but it was the Beatles trying to, I don't know, because you have to think about it too. Revolver came after Pet Sounds, right?
Yeah. I think that's Paul.
But I think Revolver was being
revisionist history.
Maybe.
It's hard for people to understand how dramatically different Pepper was in '67. Nothing was like it is a masterpiece. Yes. Mazzy, would you like to come up with us? I'm putting an invite up there. Love to have you.
Because you can see the Revolver and Pet Sounds.
Now that we're finished our
connection,
our thing here, if you want to come up and chat for a bit, that would be awesome. Yeah.
But McCartney does swear up and down that God Only Knows is his favorite song.
It's I don't know. I go back to the time like in 1966, 1967, 1960, like when this album Pet Sounds came out, no one cared about the Beach Boys.
Nobody cared about that album.
No, they did. Nobody cared about that album. Hey, Mazzy.
You know, I'm going to say, to me, Revolver is nothing like Pet Sounds. Revolver is an electric album. I mean, it was influenced just in the sake of doing something different. But musically, I love Pet Sounds. I think it's an amazing album. But I didn't hear Pet Sounds till probably 5, 6, 7 years after it came out. It wasn't a serious album at the time for my friends. I think because we loved Good Vibrations. The mistake was not putting that on the album. But that's, it was a single in that same year, right? Am I right? Am I wrong about that?
67.
Yeah, right around that time.
That was supposed to be for Smile. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, there you go. I love Pet Sounds, but I got into it way later. I think
a lot of people did. Yeah. Because growing up in
Northern California, the Beach Boys were surf music, and to a lot of us, it wasn't cool. We were into psychedelia.
Exactly.
Jefferson Airplane, Grateful Dead, the Beatles. The Beach Boys were sort of passé, again, except for Good Vibrations. But even then, there was no album to follow it. We were all like past singles in a way, or getting into albums. So the Beach Boys, whether it's due to them or Capitol Records or whatever the reason was, just I don't know. They were almost like past their prime, even not musically, but in terms of the commercial world, I guess.
No, it's true.
So, and I love the record. I think it's become a masterpiece beyond it for me, definitely.
Yeah. Well, because I know.
Can I eat pizza while I'm here? Is that right?
That's what I had for supper. It's
you're making me hungry.
It aged like a fine wine. That's what happened.
Well, Capitol. I mean, they kind of they lumped it in because they re-released it with Wild Honey. Later on, and then they also put out that Greatest Hits later in 1966.
Capitol wasn't very progressive as a record company in America. I mean, Warner Brothers was the cool hit place, Columbia somewhat, but Capitol was kind of stodgy. I mean, they finally had that agreement with the Beatles from Sgt. Pepper on to at least put out the Beatles the way they were meant to be. Before that, they did their hodgepodge,
Yeah. No, I agree about everybody says that too about the Beach Boys at that time, because that album didn't kick in for years in terms of its greatness by the critics. But yeah.
Mazzy was right though, because the Beach Boys, like, you weren't cool if you were listening to the Beach Boys.
No. And they knew it. Yeah.
Surf music wasn't cool for a while. It became cool again later, but
yeah. What does your name thing say
there?
Oh,
sorry. That's from this morning. There was a Hebrew guy on Rachel's screen. guy from Israel. And so that means in Hebrew, that translates to Rachel's fake ghost.
Oh,
Sorry, I left it in from this morning. I don't
That's
read
hilarious.
Hebrew very well anymore. Sorry. I mean, this is how sad. Talk about Lonely Hearts Club. You're talking about that on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, four guys
sitting here.
Yeah. How romantic this is.
Yeah.
and you're drinking wine.
Odie.
Having a great time. Very romantic.
So I like watching your best. Was it? I didn't see the beginning of it. Was it your top 5? Is that it?
It was our top 10 favorite artists and their favorite album
By
from
each
each of those
artist.
artists.
Yeah. I respect, but for some, I was listening to Sam. I think when I chimed in or listened, for some reason, I don't know what it is for me. I just can't get into, even though I think he's technically great as John Mayer. I did kind of appreciate him playing with the Grateful Dead for a while, or whatever that incarnation is. And I know how great he is. I don't know what it is about it. He's like this soulful white guy who does the blues, and he is technically amazing. But I will admit I haven't listened to those records. So
yeah, like I said, I think you would like, especially because of the sound to it is that Born and Raised. Because like I said, Crosby and Nash are on it, and he put out a playlist when it came out about what he was listening to, and it was all Laurel Canyon music.
Right.
He's played with everybody. He's played with Buddy Guy and BB
absolutely,
King,
absolutely.
Clapton at all the Crossroads festivals. So he is very technically gifted for sure.
Mazzy, this is going way off what we're talking about here, but I know you're a fan of Ry Cooder and John Hyatt and the Little Village thing. I think you saw that tour as well, right?
Yeah, but I've always been disappointed with the actual album.
Me too, but I found this in this mall store by us. They have all these they're like old radio shows and stuff like that. They put out on radio concerts that they put out on CDs.
Stuff, probably, yeah.
Little Village, live in Boston.
Gray Market.
This sounds like a studio.
Yeah, I'm sure it was like probably some radio station broadcasters off the boards. It
is so good.
They were great live. I saw them at the old Waldorf, and they were.
Yeah, I saw them at Massey Hall.
It's basically that John Hyatt record, "Bring On the Family."
Yeah,
which is
they
a
do
better
all
record.
songs.
Yeah, the same band, better record than the Little Village record.
And the version across the borderline is just incredible. This is just good. If you see this,
is that on there?
Man, it's so good. And I got turned on to this other band by Randy Nelson. You ever heard of any of these people? Curran Kane, Kevin Welsh, or Fats Kaplan?
The last guy sounds like a really big Jewish guy.
Lost John Dean, this album's called. This is incredible. It's an acoustic album, but so good. Like, I can't believe it. I ordered it on Discogs. I liked it so much. But
don't know.
Fantastic. And I just discovered this other artist too. I think she's from Kansas City. Samantha Fish.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah.
And not hard on the eyes either.
I would think she kind of reminds me of Amy Winehouse, except a bit more rocky. Like it's still got that R&B kind of, and that same vocal kind of inflections as Amy Winehouse, but she plays lead guitar on it. So
she's a pretty good Telecaster player.
Yeah. There's some great rockin' tunes on that, but just 3 records that are just blowing me away.
Fats Kaplan was playing with Prine on that last tour. So
really?
Yeah, I saw him with Prine. And he's played with Jack White. He played with Jack White for years.
I'll tell you, go on Spotify and listen to Lost John Dean. It's fantastic. It really is. Blew me away.
I want to say he's played with Josh Ritter too.
Yeah, I've never heard of them. Any of those guys.
Well, he was in Three's Company. Remember Three's Company?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
Forget it.
That was a joke.
Oh, that went up. Yeah.
When
Suzanne Summers was still in the show, or was that in the first? Yeah. Or Don Knotts? Was it Don Knotts?
John Ritter was. First of all, John Ritter was a huge Beatle collector.
He was.
Yeah.
And the son of Tex Ritter.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a huge Beatles collector.
Yeah, I saw him at a Beatle Fest in L.A. once.
Oh, really?
He was just, walking around, the dealer room, checking out stuff.
Wow.
cool.
Yeah, he had a few bucks to buy some stuff too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have had quite a collection. They never say anything about that. Wow. That's incredible.
I think Tom Hanks is a Beatle collector too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
you're
really?
right.
He's also a typewriter collector.
Well, he's a big
I've
music.
heard that.
He's a big music buff, that's for sure.
Yeah. He's from Oakland. He grew up
It
in
always
Oakland.
kills me whenever you see like a documentary or something on musician or something. They always ask Tom Hanks his opinion. You're going like,
Yeah.
I don't really care what Tom Hanks
Well,
thinks.
he had that great introduction for the Dave Clark 5 at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
It was like right around the time of That Thing You Do. So he was like full on power pop.
That Thing You Do is a fantastic
Yeah.
love letter to that genre of music.
Yeah.
It's
I've
fantastic.
never seen that movie.
Oh,
it's
God,
great.
You'd
it's
love it.
great.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Pun
Yeah.
intended, actually.
I just lost my Netflix subscription today.
You
I'm
lost
about to
it.
drop them
Basically,
because they're
Oh,
fucking.
because
with
I
our-
was sharing my
Hostage
daughter's
Yeah.
password, and
Oh,
so today's the
pony up,
first day.
Glenn. Pony up.
The first day today that I go to click on Netflix and I go, I've watched everything on there anyway.
I've been without it for months.
I'm done.
I'm canceling it on Friday.
There's nothing on there anymore. Like they stopped. It's not as I don't know. They just stopped putting good content on there for some reason. You don't see much. I did watch a good Bob Marley documentary on there a couple of weeks ago, which was good. Are you?
Did you watch Hallelujah, the Leonard Cohen documentary?
No, I didn't watch that.
I saw it in the in theaters.
God.
Yeah.
The second half is really concentrates on the song Hallelujah. Now that was kind of co-opted by a religious segment, even though there's a lot of lyrics about like sexual bondage.
Sexual, yeah.
S&M and stuff. Yeah, like it's.
But but the first half is really the little biographic of Leonard Cohen and his rise. And
Yeah.
that thing, and then they talk about when his manager ripped him off for millions of dollars, and he had to go back on the road when he was like 60 or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
But great movie, and at the very end they close out with one of yours, Katie Lang's version of Hallelujah. It's beautiful. It's a great documentary.
It
Oh,
is.
really?
They talked about him, hanging out with the monks too, going and isolating.
Right. He was at the
Years.
Buddhist monastery, and he comes back, and his manager basically took all his money.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was broke.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's worth maybe get another month of Netflix and watch it, or rent it or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Or
see.
just
I'm going to my
probably
daughter's.
rent it as a one-off on Apple, iTunes, or wherever.
I'm going to my daughter's on Thursday. I'll watch it at her house.
Oh yeah, spoon off your daughter there. Okay.
Like any good
Well,
dad.
that's who was paying for Netflix. And then I said, nah, don't. Well, let's not pay the extra $8. So
You're in the opposite. I'm helping my son. My son's 32, so I'm helping him. You got the kid helping you. So
yeah. See, I'm doing it right.
yeah. Hopefully in a few years.
You got it all mixed up. Yeah, you got to cry poor. Poor old guy. I'm the poor old guy.
I just realized today he called me today because his phone's slowing down. His iPhone's still on my account. So that's what dads do. That's what parents do.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I'll forever be on a family account. I mean, I pay for my own phone, but family account's the way to go.
How old are you, Sam?
28.
Oh, so okay. So
Yeah.
you're in that neighborhood. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be 29 in May.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just not into streaming and pay channels and stuff. So my daughters, they're all hooked up to them. So they just go, here, just use our password. So I just watch it. It's not like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be the first one to have any of this stuff. I'm old school.
Yeah. I mean, there are shared accounts everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. But they're putting it into them.
They're
There's no doubt.
cracking down more and more. I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of get it. It's too bad, but I kind of get it.
But the
They
point
should
is, if
say,
you're
okay, you can have 3 or 5 or whatever devices, wherever they are, because some people travel or they go on the road. Come up with a number, and whatever you do, that's the number.
Yeah.
and that's the reason I'm dropping Netflix. One of two reasons, because I paid the $19.95 a month for 4 devices. It shouldn't matter where those 4 devices are.
Right. I agree.
I pay for them. It doesn't matter whether in my house.
Are they
3 of them
changing
are in
that?
my
Is that what
house.
they're changing?
One of them is in my father-in-law's, who lives 5 minutes away. But I've paid for all 4 of them, so what the hell does it matter?
Yeah.
The other reason I'm dropping them is I could just cut his off and still keep paying it. But now the problem is I have IPTV and some streaming services, so I run a VPN connection on all my devices to encrypt my data, just not to hide my IP, but just to make internet exchange safer. Netflix doesn't allow you to do that.
We're
So
talking
every
too
time
technical for us, Rob. Us older.
Yeah.
it's
I don't know what the hell he's going
You know,
on
V,
about.
VPN stands for Virtual
okay.
Private Network.
I think in our generation, VPL used to be visible panty lines. Remember that?
Suffice
You
it
know
to
what I'm
say-
talking about, Glenn? You know about that?
I remember that.
Maybe it was an American thing. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe
That's when I used to wear tight pants. Now it's just
we're not talking about
sweatpants
guys,
now. Don't worry about it.
unfortunately. And I don't want to,
Yeah,
sound
once I turned to sweatpants when I retired, it's
Right.
that problem disappeared.
Suffice it to say, Netflix, as part of their password sharing, is tracking your internet location, which is illegal to do in Canada. So I'm saying Netflix, fuck you.
I don't blame you. I don't blame
There you go. I find that they just weren't putting a lot of good new content.
No, that's the other thing too.
It depends. You have to dig deep. The thing is, you have to, if you know what you're looking for. Like, I'm a big fan of like British detective dramas.
Me too. That's my big thing.
There are a lot on. I don't even know half the time if they're on Amazon or they're on. At least with Netflix, once you go in, you can watch anything. And I have Amazon Prime because I have delivery and all that stuff. And you go in there. And every other thing is something when you go in there that you can watch the first season and then they ding you.
You got to pay.
You want to watch every other episode? It's $2.99 an episode. So it's not as pure. Now, it's just confusing. You kind of it's like heroin. They give you this first season and you want to watch the rest. You got to pay for it. Well, no, seriously.
That's a great analogy.
It's true.
Right? They kind of get you. They lead you along. So at least Netflix is all you can eat for whatever price it is. I mean,
I got one of those Roku sticks, like for $40. And then there's a channel on there. It's free called Tubi. You ever see that channel?
I've heard of it. I don't know.
They're the ones that screwed everybody during the Super Bowl with that commercial.
Oh, I didn't see that. I don't know anything about that, but they have like 1 million music documentaries on that channel for free.
Really?
I've never seen so
I
many.
have an Apple, the Apple TV.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, it's so easy to use. And you have all the apps. It just depends on the app,
Yeah.
Whether it's like I share my ex's Hulu, I have her thing, and she has my Amazon, and we kind of we trade like everyone else.
There's a new one you got to try, Glenn. It's a new Canadian free streaming. It's like Tubi, but it's way better. It's called Pluto TV.
Really?
Like the dog or the planet. Look it up. It's free. You can get it on Roku. They just launched it last month. It's really good.
And it's free?
It's free.
Glenn, you would like it because it's like all the old shows. Like you can find, like old westerns or Leave It to Beaver, stuff like that. It's like it's constantly playing.
Yeah.
Like Twilight Zone, stuff like that.
The Roku channel is now showing the Avengers.
Really?
I've seen Leave It to Beaver and Twilight Zone so many times, and they're so fucking great. Sorry, can I say that on your stream? Sorry,
you can.
But I don't think I ever needed to see those again.
I have the box. It's the only box set I own is Leave It to
But when's
Beaver.
the last time you pulled out and played a disc?
Not for a long time, but I absolutely I could watch it.
I mean, I have the Prisoner series.
Sam's sitting here going, "What the hell is Leave It to Beaver?"
No, heck no.
It sounds like something on YouPorn or something.
I got my sister a Leave It to Beaver hat for Christmas, so
no way.
That's like creepy right there.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's my favorite show of all time.
Yeah. No, I know a lot about Leave It to Beaver. Andy Griffith's one of my all-time favorite shows.
Yeah.
So
and Clarence White and the Kentucky Colonels played on the jail episode of Leave It.
Yep.
Yeah. And the Dillards.
Obviously the Dillards.
The Dillards, that's right.
The Darlings.
Yeah, Clarence White. Yeah, they were on that first season. Like,
was it? I don't even know what season it was, but
first one. That's when Andy was still trying to be the funny one, and Barney was the straight man.
Right.
So.
All my TV is free antenna broadcast or free Roku apps except for BritBox, Yeah, BritBox has got all the British shows.
I don't have BritBox, but I would consider that because I love British television.
Oh man, those British cop shows are great.
I'm watching something called, I think it's on Netflix, Paranormals. Like, what I like about the Brit shows, they don't do like 13, 15, 20 episodes. They keep it like 4 to 6, maybe. That's enough instead of dragging it on. And they got they call it series instead of seasons.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just love all that stuff.
The first of like those BBC shows I really got into was Broadchurch with David.
Broadchurch.
That was killer. And then
they tried an American version for like a season, and it totally bombed.
Yeah,
and it was with the same guy. With
the same dude was
David Tennant. It was David Tennant, the different woman.
David Tennant was in it, and it had what's his name? The wife from Breaking Bad.
The wife.
Yeah, was
okay.
That version of the American version of Broadchurch.
Oh, I didn't know she was in it.
Known better, to a lot of people as Seinfeld's girlfriend when he got Paul Simon tickets.
Oh, right. I forget. Okay.
Oh, was she that? She's
that girlfriend? Yeah,
girlfriend? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't clue into that at all.
A lot of those Breaking Bad folks were on Seinfeld. Saul was on there. He played the guy who was the dermatologist.
Yeah. Well, he was the what's Bryan Cranston?
Bryan Cranston was
anti-dentite. He was the
was he the dentist? Was he the dentist?
Yeah, the racist dentist. Yeah.
He converted to Judaism for the jokes.
Anti-dentite.
Yeah.
He is hysterical. Cool. Yeah.
Tim Watley.
Yeah. So you get lots of reaction to your Blonde on Blonde video.
I don't do a lot of comparisons, like a lot of shootouts, but that's my favorite Dylan album. If I had
Me too.
I mean, I like all Dylan. I'm all in on Dylan, but that's my favorite. And for whatever reason, I ordered the Vinyl Me Please, and I'm a stereo guy mostly, but I do like that. So that was a fun one to make. It just was kind of fun to compare.
Yeah. Did you know that you got a shout out on the Dylan thing?
No, but I never even heard of that Dylan thing.
Oh, really? It's a great website. Really good resource. I go on it every morning. They give you links.
I couldn't find it. News. Yeah, I don't. It's like I go on the Hoffman forum sometime, a lot actually, more than I should. And Dylan freaks are almost as bad as Beatle freaks.
Oh yeah.
And they have a subgenre or Springsteen freaks. And I like all those artists, but sometimes they get so minute, and we've already had that, and we like when an artist puts out like a box set or a what do you call it, like the
bootleg series. Yeah,
you have to pretend the we have bootleg people don't exist. You have to just do what you want to put out, and that's it. And I respect the artist. Yeah, it's nice to have every little thing, but most people in the world don't want every little version.
Yeah.
Maybe you and I might. It's fine for me to have that on a hard drive or something that I listen to hardly at all. But they're crazy. So, I think.
How are you getting through the album set yet for Fragments?
I think I'm 6 or 7. I haven't hit the live versions, which I hear aren't that great, but the rest of it I love. The
live versions, the performances are great.
But I hear the audiences.
Some of it's lacking.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't really care about that as much on this, but I love. It's one of the few times I love the remix.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Really good.
Because I'm a big fan of Daniel Lanois' work, and I thought I like the remix better. I think.
Yeah, probably me too. But I don't mind the original. But it's different.
Wow. Yeah, this is one of my favorite of the Dylan bootleg series so far.
Yeah,
I can listen to Dylan for like a week straight. And I get tired, but I get it. Some people don't get it and don't like it, so be it.
He just announced new tour dates. He's going to Japan.
That's kind of what we figured.
He's ignoring Canada for some reason.
Yeah, I don't think I need to see him again. I saw him maybe 3 times in the last decade, and twice it was horrible, and once he was great. And I've seen him.
I saw him in 2017. He was fantastic, and I really want to see him do the Rough and Rowdy Way songs.
It was good. I saw him last April, and it was really, really good.
I just want to see him one more time do that album.
He does the whole album, other than Murder Most Foul.
Yeah, because I love that album, and I think those songs would go over so
I mean,
well
he's
live.
doesn't have. I mean, God, he's like what 120 years old now, so he doesn't have
Yeah,
much time.
82. That's what I'm saying. He's going to Japan now. By the time I see him, I'll be dead. He'll still be going at 90, and I'll be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always have Ringo. He'll always tour at 82,
Yeah.
83.
But Ringo still sounds great. I mean,
Yeah, he does.
I tell you, I mean, I did go see McCartney. Was it last year, the last tour?
Yeah.
And of course, his voice is kind of gone. And I almost didn't go because the last time I saw him was in your country in 2019 in Vancouver. I drove up to Vancouver on 4th of July weekend and saw him. And yeah, his voice is clipped and is raunchy, but it's still so great to see him and his enthusiasm and his band. And I almost didn't go this time. And I went with 3 friends who have never, ever seen a Beatle.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
And they're all like 2 of them are in their 40s and one's 50. And so I went with them and I kind of tempered their expectations because of his voice. And they fucking loved everything.
Yeah.
They loved it. We went out to dinner. We went to the show in Seattle here. And they were blown away. I mean, a fucking Beatle, you know, one was 43, 45, and 50, you know, age-wise.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll say, because I saw him in Winston-Salem last May, and the whole, you know, the I've Got a Feeling bit with Lennon. I mean, God, like that was just unbelievable to me to see that. And that's the closest I'll ever get, you know.
Yeah, my daughter and son-in-law saw him in Orlando on the last tour too.
That bit could have been so hokey, and it worked out.
It could have been very hokey. Yeah, it could have been. I mean, and even like songs that I've heard a million times, like when he broke into band, because I've seen him one time before that, and when he broke into Band on the Run, like I was getting like teary-eyed. I was like, I can't believe this is happening, and it's this good, and he's, you know, going to be 80 next month. It was incredible.
Yeah,
they're putting out some documentary on Paul? Isn't he putting a documentary on Wings or something now?
Yeah, Man on the Run is what they're calling it.
That should be pretty cool. When's that supposed to be coming out? Are they working on it now, or it's ready for release?
I want to say it's in post-production.
Wow.
He's got a whole you know, company doing all this. I really think, you know, the way the stuff's coming out with the lyrics book a couple years ago or a year ago or two, and all this stuff. I think he's setting his legacy up, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I don't blame him. I mean, come on. No. I mean, he deserves it. You know, anybody who chastises him, give me a break, you know?
Does he own the catalog yet?
Mm-hmm.
Still, he still does.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was a conversation I had with a bunch of people with, you know, Dylan and Springs, all these people selling their catalogs and people getting all upset about it. I'm one that thinks at least the artist is making his decision to sell when he wants to, because who knows, once they're gone and their estate, their kids, who knows what's going to happen. So at least, you know, get the money, give it to your heirs. They could screw it up. They could fight, bicker about it, you know. So I don't blame them, you know.
And I also think there's something like, I know in the sports world that when a team owner who owns one of these football teams that are worth $2 billion now, when they die and leave it for the kids in the U.S., there's a tax burden there that these kids just go bankrupt.
Yep.
So, and I wonder if that has anything to do with why they're selling the catalogs off.
That's a big part.
Yeah. It's a tax thing.
I mean, that's how my grandfather is. He's a very healthy, you know, 80-year-old man. But he kind of does like the living will thing where like his gifts are his will so that he can see you enjoy it while he is able, you know, so he doesn't have to be taxed on it when he's dead.
Did you get $600 million for his songs?
Not yet. No, he's still holding out from Universal.
Yeah, but I have a friend who used to. It's kind of a sick, but exactly right on description. When your grandparents or parents, or depending on the situation, kind of die or leave you something, and you're able to have that money now. Like, it's hard to buy a house these days for a lot of young people.
Yeah.
And they leave you the money to put a down payment. We used to call it dead down, because my grandmother left me a chunk of money and we bought a house in San Francisco, and that was the down payment. And half the time the mortgage was less than the rents the two of us were paying. But once we got together, we moved in together. And once we got that down payment from my grandmother, our mortgage was less plus the tax benefit. So it was like dead down, which sounds like creepy, but I would like to leave my son something eventually. Hopefully this house or something. So,
yeah. Oh, JT's here, and he says, "Hi guys, what's Mazzy doing here?" Hey, very cool for him to drop in on your humble chat.
JT, come
We
on.
had to pay Mazzy. You don't know that.
I'm not. Am I snooty to you, Glenn?
Never. I love you, Mazzy.
You know,
You're
and
on my bucket. You're on my bucket list, buddy, to visit.
We're gonna go out. We're gonna meet either in San Francisco or Seattle.
Yeah,
and we're gonna go see music or go to record stores.
It's gonna happen.
And JT and I had a little Virgo organized little banter yesterday on a comment on something. You know, I don't know when I'm going to go to Reno again. It's going to be many years, but
yeah, he can. JT knows too many. He knows too many of the connected guys, all the mob guys and everything. I'm kind of afraid of him.
But if anyone comes to Seattle, we had was it 2 weeks ago? We had this great weekend with Harry and this guy Craig from San Diego, formerly Canada. You know, Craig, the vinyl record player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was visiting, and we were watching on. He was on Rachel's stream, and he said, "Oh, I'm visiting a friend in Seattle." So Harry and I and Harry's friend were going record shopping on our Friday. We went up north. We picked him up, and we hung out during the day. It was great. It was fun. I love that. You know?
Yeah.
I only charge you guys like $150 a pop to hang out with me and look at go to record store.
Yeah, no, it's worth it. Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Canadian though, right? I can't give you American.
Yeah, but he did mention the hidden fees. There's some hidden fees there. Yeah.
Canadian is like 3 cents American.
And he's got a rider too.
I don't know if I'll give you any cash, but I'll bring you down a couple of Bryan Adams albums.
Well, I would rather have a John Mayer record.
Hey, that's a start.
I can do.
That's a start. No, I'd love to come back out west. The farthest I've been is Fort Collins in Colorado. I haven't seen the West Coast.
Where do you live?
I'm in Virginia. I'm Southwest Virginia.
Well, I've been to Richmond, so
yeah, I'm about 3 hours from Richmond. About an hour 45 from Charlottesville.
I used to go to Richmond. There's an ad agency out there, Martin Agency. I used to work with a bunch. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long are you going to continue working, Mazzy? You like it so much?
I've already next month. I'm announcing my end to my photo agency after 37 years.
Wow.
I'm not retiring, but I'm going to do stuff. But I gotta end it because I have. It's a long story, but I'm ending it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Very cool.
I'm 68.
Well, you'll have more free time then.
I work for myself. Business is shit, but I have projects I work on. I love it. I still do some negotiation, but it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
I don't know, wear out my welcome in a way. Like, are you and I the same age, or are you older?
I'm a year older, I think.
You're like 53, 1953?
Yeah, 53.
I'm 54, yeah. I'm as old as the Stratocaster guitar.
Wow. I'm as old as Stuart Sutcliffe.
And they coined the term rock and roll in the year I was born.
Yeah.
Alan Freed. That's when rock and roll began. Elvis's first record. It's a good year. And the Salk vaccine. It's a good year.
Wow.
I think Al Jolson was number one when I was.
Yeah. But you play bass really well. I'm a shitty guitar player, so.
Yeah. I don't play bass that well.
I thought
banjo
you did.
Better, but bass a little bit.
You know, I have Now you play a 4-string banjo?
5.
I have a 4-string banjo that was my grandfather's, who I was named after, Norman Goldberg, who died when my mother was 18. And I have this banjo. I think it's like a 5-string band. It's Orpheum, it's called.
Oh wow.
And he signed the back of the
drum
head.
Yeah.
The head. So I have a signature. Like, I can't play it, obviously, but.
So have you ever heard John Hartford's album called Morning Bugle? He plays a song, Old Joe Clark, and in the middle of it, he talks about. He makes up this lyric about this banjo he's looking for, and he's looking for an open back Orpheum banjo.
Really?
If anybody's got one, get a hold of me. It's all part of the lyrics of the song.
Send me, if you remember, send me a link to that record. I won't remember.
Okay.
What's it called? Wait, what's it called?
It's Morning Bugle's the name of the album.
Let me see if that sounds really familiar.
It's probably the first or second song on side 2. I think it's old Joe Clark. He does a version of that old song.
That's a traditional.
And in the middle of that, he makes up these lyrics about looking for a certain type of banjo. And if you look and see what you got, and let me know if you got one.
Oh, I don't have. That's a Warner Brothers record, right? 72. Okay.
Great record, by the way.
I need to order it now because I have that album. I know he's dead, but can I sell it to him? His estate?
Maybe his son's looking. Jamie Hartford. Maybe he's looking for it.
Okay. No, I don't have that. I remember that album, but I don't have it. So 6 for sale, $40.
Ooh.
That seems high for that record.
No, they're hard to find.
Really?
Yeah, that and Aerial Plane are both.
I guess
I have an original Aerial Plane.
Yeah.
I mean, they've probably never been reissued.
I have his RCA, a couple of RCA records.
So there's a website called Banjo Hangout for all banjo players and stuff like that, and I became friends with what's his last name's Taylor. Tut Taylor, the dobro player who played on Aerial Plane album. It was Tut Taylor's son, and so
he's on that great album with David Bromberg. What's the one with the white cover? On Rounder, maybe, or
the Hillbilly, not Hillbilly Jack.
Not Hillbilly Jack.
He's on the Aerial Plane album.
Yeah,
okay. Steam Powered Aerial Plane. So anyway, I'm becoming friends with this guy Taylor. I didn't know, and we're start talking about the Aerial Plane album. And at that point, the CD was discontinued. You couldn't find the vinyl. And I said, to the guy, I'm dying to find the CD. He said, I'm Tut Taylor's son, and I have a couple of the CDs at home. He says, I'll send you one. He just for free. He just mailed me one of the original CDs.
Wow,
it was
that's awesome.
Yeah. And I still have it.
Well, how did you get the back to your Bela Fleck album? Was that kind of like did you just happen upon that, or did you find it?
I found it on Discogs. A guy in Canada was selling it, and he sold it to me for $80 Canadian.
Wow.
And I went, I got to have it. So
yeah.
And I met up with him, and it was brand new.
Was that an album from the 90s? Is that why it's so high?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Glenn, I just ordered it.
Wow.
Did you? Oh, cool. It's such a great record.
$35. That's more than I wanted to spend, but
wow. No, it's worth it. John Hartford is grand. I saw him.
I just want to hear about that Orpheum banjo. My grandfather's Orpheum banjo.
Dylan's new book is wonderful. Yeah, I still don't have the book.
It's really cheap at Barnes & Noble right now.
I'm starting to see it cheap all over the place, even on Facebook Marketplace.
You can get it, read it, or listen to the pod or the Books on Tape version.
Yeah, I hear that's really good. He does some of it himself,
right?
Some of
it, yeah.
Yeah. I love Bob's voice when he talks. There's something about it.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to the Old Time Radio Show?
Yeah.
Game Time Radio was awesome.
Yeah.
Then he did it again during COVID. He did that one about whiskey, like to promote his whiskey. It was like a 2-hour special. It was awesome.
I have I stopped drinking, and I have a full bottle of that whiskey sitting in the cupboard. And it's
you want my address?
Yeah, bring that down to Virginia.
It's and it's not cheap.
No,
it was like, I think at the time it was $80 US a bottle or something. My daughter bought it for me.
Do you have it in one of like the special like leather box pouches?
No, it wasn't a post, but it's got a really cool design bottle.
It's his artwork. Yeah,
I've actually got two. I got one that I was drinking that's kind of half full, and the other one completely that's not open.
Send that my way. I'll give you something.
Okay, you give me $100. You give me $80, and it's yours. $80 US.
No.
That's the best I could do.
That's the best.
I'm gonna go play some music. I've just been cleaning records, which is a weird thing for me to do, but I cleaned a copy of an original track. I'm gonna show this, but you might have to close your eyes. My original track version I got in 1969 of Electric Ladyland. I'll just show it from a distance.
Oh yeah, that's the the Ladyland cover.
This version sounds so good, and now I have this Humming Guru. I decided after 54 years to put it through the Humming Guru, and we'll see what happens. But this is my favorite Hendrix record. So
are you enjoying this Humming Guru thing? Or?
I'm only doing it for some old records. I have this collection I'm helping this guy sell for certain records of that and certain old records. I'm not doing the like, give me a break. New records, I know there's issues, there's dust.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I don't do that.
I'm not doing that. But for some record, I have a friend of mine's, my friend Coleman. I got a copy of the original mono Sergeant Pepper, very first UK pressing, and it was really noisy. I put it through that twice, and oh my God, it was almost perfect. There was some
Wow.
noise, and that's like an old record, so it does get the shit off that's in there. So, and $420 is a lot, but when you got a big collection, think of it, that's one fucking box set.
I got a thing called a squeaky clean. It's just it comes to just a turntable that spins, and you put the record on it, and it's got a thing on, you hook up a shop vac to it.
Oh, I thought that's like those guys when you get off the freeway coming out of the bridge in New York and Manhattan, and they like squeegee you.
Pretty much.
Stick their hand.
Pretty much. Yeah. I got the squeegee guy in my in the thing. Every time I walk by, he makes me give him a record to squeegee.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. I love you.
Okay, we're going to take off pretty soon too. So thanks, Mazzy.
Thanks.
Take care, man.
Appreciate it. Take care. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Wow.
Yeah, I need a good record cleaner because I don't have anything.
Well, check out Squeaky Clean because it's really cheap. They're only like $100.
Okay.
And they turn into a vacuum system, and all you have to do is buy the cheapest shop vac from a Home Depot or whatever you can get. I paid $39.99 from the shop vac.
Yeah.
It hooks up to the side of it, and it works fantastic. It's for $150, you will have a complete record cleaning system.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you clean your records, Rob?
I do. Not with the same religious fervor that many members of the VC do. Like Mazzy, I don't believe in cleaning new records. Just dust them off.
No, I don't either.
I think that's ridiculous. I've been used. Vinyl Vac sent me a Vinyl Vac, which is similar to yours.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And you know what? It's incredibly DIY. Does a great job.
Yeah.
And they're not paying me to say that. They sent me one, and free of charge, and they wanted my honest opinion, and I was impressed with it. It's good. So do I clean every record? No. If it's a used record and it looks like it needs cleaned, I clean it. If it's like I was thrifting on the weekend for the first time and grabbed some stuff from the flea market, absolutely I'm going to clean those before I spend them. But in when I did my initial review on them, I found the dirtiest record I had, which was introducing the Beatles on VJ, and it was just beat all the shit. And to the point, I didn't play it because I only had it for collectability's sake. And after I cleaned it, played fantastic. I'm quite surprised. So yeah, I don't clean everything, but if it visibly needs it, then yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I used to. I've invested in one of the expensive record cleaning machines once, an Okinoki machine, and I think it cost me like $500 or $600 at the time. And this Squeaky Clean thing, just the same job for $100. Like there's no need to.
Yeah.
You can find cheap alternatives that do a really good job.
Yep.
And I'm like you, unless the record needs to be cleaned, I don't clean it.
Yep.
I use one of those.
We've been playing records for
whatever. When the record's on, I use that on the thing, and I clean my stylus with a little bit of liquid shit, whatever that brush. You get those little bottles, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen, people listen to records for 30 years before cleaning became a thing. So I think it's a little overrated.
Yeah.
I just use a little spit and a little bit of butter.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, you ever see those guys do it with the glue, the white glue?
That it works.
Have you seen that? That's crazy.
No,
it works fantastic.
Tommy does it. My friend Tommy, and he does it for records that are they're like this last breath. Like this, I'm gonna try it. If you do it, it works.
It's amazing. Have you seen that in operation?
Oh yeah,
it's crazy. And then you just lift it off and
lift it off.
You have to do it right though, but
yeah.
Did you see Larry Graves cleaning the records with Comet?
Yeah.
I love his record wall in the back is full of like Goodwill records.
Yeah. He goes to Goodwill and buys. So I went to Goodwill on the the other day, and I found 2 records. I found I don't usually for the last couple of times I've found records they're worth buying for $2. I bought Gordon Lightfoot album. It was the original one with you. If you could read my mind, Sit Down Stranger. I think it's called Sit Down Young Stranger or something. It was the original one that had If You Could Read My Mind on it, and then they released when that became such a big hit. They released another album, I think, called If You Could Read My Mind. Anyway, it's a really good album. But I also got a Genesis album there.
Sit Down, Young Stranger. Yeah.
I put on the Genesis. I'm looking at it in the store and I'm going, this looks brand new. And I bring it home and I put it on the turntable and I see the record going, like this, but it's not warped. It's bent. I've never seen a record do this before. Like one part of it is bent up.
Really?
It's not warped.
Wow.
I don't know how you could even do that to a record.
It must have been sitting in a basement with no air conditioning.
Something happened, but
Out
it's
in
just
the
the
sun or
weirdest
something.
defect. And I didn't notice when I bought it. It was like $2. I just got to throw it away.
It could have been up against something like a solid surface that bent it.
Yeah.
So obviously, when I was thrifting, we picked up, so that's next on the list, and I haven't owned this. I've never owned it. I mean, I've heard it before, but Cheap Trick at the Budokan.
Oh, I've never owned that album either.
But it's a great record.
Yeah.
And then Linda Ronstadt's Don't.
Well, that's a great record.
Oh yeah.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
I'll get out of here.
Please check your Wi-Fi network.
And my wife picked up a bunch of shit that
I love that Linda Ronstadt album.
I love every.
It's her country. It's her country album.
Yeah. It's got what's got on there?
Silver Threads and Golden Needles, and
It's got her version Desperado.
Yeah, that's a great record.
Yeah. So it was a good flea market find. So
how much were you paying for the records at the flea market?
Between $5 and $10.
Oh, that's good.
Can't beat that.
Have you ever been to a place called this won't be good for anybody else? Aberfoyle.
It's just down the highway from me.
Oh, is it?
10 minutes.
My wife and I used to go to Aberfoyle all the time.
I love it. We went a little bit. Obviously, that's not open right now because it's outdoors. But
yeah,
we went a little bit further down the highway on the other side of the 401 to Freelton.
Yeah,
halfway to Hamilton. There's an indoor antique market. So
okay,
yeah.
It's
fun.
It's hard to find like those antique markets. A lot of the guys sell the records and are also scratched up, and you got to look through so much.
And there's so much crap.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, and everybody thinks a record, like just because it's a record and people are buying records, that every record's worth $10, even if it's unplayable. Like,
yep,
it drives me nuts.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's fun to look.
It was fun. It was funny because I said to my wife on Sunday morning when I got up, I'm like, I feel like record shopping today. She goes, I do too. And I went, wow, honey, let's go. Bundle up the kid. We're out of here. And it was a sunny day and whatever.
So I ordered that Dawes record you told me about. No, nothing else.
Nothing is wrong.
Nothing is wrong. And I found it used on CD, and I ordered it from a CD store that's in my daughter in Oshawa, where my daughter lives. And we're going there on Thursday, so I'm picking it up Thursday. So I'll let you know.
You won't regret it. You'll love it.
So I got a review on that, and you got to do Close to the Edge.
It will.
Okay.
I picked up one other really cool record. I picked up this, which is it's U2. It's called Another Time, Another Place. It's one of those, they do a bunch of fan club only releases.
Oh, yeah.
You have to buy a membership. And so this is a concert they did in 1980 in London, England. But the cool thing about it is it's a double 10-inch record.
That's interesting.
Which is weird. So, it's obviously.
Oh, yeah. It's like a 10-inch.
It's 10-inch, double 10-inch. Yeah. So
I don't own any 10-inch records. That'd be my first.
I've got a bunch. U2's done a bunch of 10-inch. So they did some Record Store Day releases, and then they did a few fan club releases. And I'm slowly accumulating the fan club releases through the aftermarket.
Have we got a Record Store Day coming up soon?
Yeah, April, I think.
It should be April.
April?
I'm going to skip it like I do every Record Store Day.
There's always one I want.
Me
and I
too,
never
and I
seem to
usually
get
try
it.
and find it later in the week.
I can get it online. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking now, Glenn, for Cosmic Hippo. All they're selling on Discogs are the CDs.
Yeah, you can't even get the other vinyl's really hard to find.
Like vinyl's not even on here. From
Yeah.
all over the world too. I mean, like there's nothing. It's all CDs.
And I contacted Bale and talked to him. I said, why don't you re-release some of this stuff, man? Everybody's after the vinyl these days. Your records, he says I don't own. He doesn't own any of the rights to any of it.
Yeah.
So he has no control.
Yeah,
But,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that sucks. JT is giving us his Valentine's Day menu: king crab, New York strip steak, and corn for Valentine's Day, guys. That's nice, JT. We had steak, so I had steak and a baked potato and broccoli.
I had the Mazzy menu of leftover pizza.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I'm dying
We
for
cooked fajitas tonight.
I got to work tomorrow night, so
I've got to work tomorrow day. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we got to call her quits here one of these days. The only
We should. I got to go say goodnight to the wife before she goes.
Yeah. So, well, thanks, guys. This was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. You're not with us next Tuesday.
I will be with Billy Strings next Tuesday.
Okay.
Maybe we'll recruit John then, unless he decides to go see
Billy Strings.
Who knows? Yeah. We never heard from John. All we heard was he did Paper and Fire, and that was it.
You'd almost think he was too busy enjoying the concert.
You'd almost think so.
To his friends on
I almost told him to get off his phone because he's going to be annoying the person next to him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've had that happen to me at concerts before.
Yeah.
People on their phones when you're trying to watch a concert.
Yeah.
I watched. I went to see Murray McLaughlin once at Massey Hall, and I'm sitting up in the balcony. This guy sitting beside me, and Murray played the guitar and harmonica. Guy beside me picks a harmonica out of his pocket, and he looks at the key it's in, C or whatever, and he goes, "I can hardly wait till he plays a song in C." He was going to play along with Murray McLaughlin on and I paid $50 to see a concert, and the guy beside me is going to play along.
I would have ripped it out of his hand and hit him with it.
I said, if he plays a C and you put that harmonica in your mouth, you're going to hit row C. Away.
Wow.
I
will say before I leave, I remember yesterday I got a ticket to see AJ Croce do.
Oh, that's going to be.
It was $25, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. There's only like 20 seats left. Maybe.
Someone was telling me who went to see him and said he was fantastic. He's doing all his dad's songs.
It's Croce sings Croce. Yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a great show.
So I'm really excited.
I have one of his CDs.
End of March.
He's got this growly. I don't know if he still has it. He has a growly voice, and he does these old kind of jazz type rock and jazz songs and stuff. Yeah. He's really good.
I'm excited, and it's right here in town, so I don't have to travel.
Oh, that's going to be a great. I would jump to see that.
Yeah, it was a seat by itself. Kind of, there's like I said, probably only 4 or 5 on the ground, and there were about 15 up in the balcony still left. And so I grabbed one, and I mean, it's a small place. So like the ticket's $20. You only pay $5 in fees. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
We get ripped off out here. You can't see nothing.
Nope. Yeah, but yeah, this was fun. Y'all, hope y'all can do it next week.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, thanks and thanks for everybody who's watching. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, guys.